Hello, everybody. What's up? What is up, gamers? I'm eating a sandwich right now. I'll finish. So that we can move on. Max Solis, what's up? How's it going? I apologize for all the munching. I wanted to eat before stream, but I took too long to get started, so. How would you say Max Solis? I would say like, yes. Solis? Sulis? Maybe Sulis? I don't know. Am I saying it wrong? Because let me know if I am. So it's Max Sulis? Okay. Alright, well I will say that from now on. Thank you for letting me know. So what's up, Psycho? How's it going? Doing pretty good. I'm tired. Last night I spent many moons trying to fix this stupid issue. I'll show you guys what it is in a minute, but it is extremely frustrating. So I'll be back. Sounds good. Okay. Also, sorry for the very late start to the stream. That is my bad. It's because I stayed up for a million years and was tired. But I stayed up for a good reason. I mean, I'll show you guys. Background is hard to understand. I get that. It is a mess. We got the Duracell energy drink. We've got Starground guy risen you up. Yeah, it's pretty crazy back there. Maybe one day we'll change it. I'm sorry for the wait, guys. I'm eating this sandwich as fast as I can. Welcome back. Is the proper name. I see. Yeah, sorry if all the noises are annoying and gross. Anyways, let me show you guys what I've been working on. So this is a plaque that you can open up in the space station. Now, I am having some seriously stupid, annoying problems with this, though. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out what is happening. So let me just boot it up and show you guys. It is the weirdest problem I've ever had. I think it has something to do with like rendering stuff, like graphics, but I don't know. I don't know what's happening. And it's something there's no like info on. I can't like figure it out through the editor. It's really weird. So I'm gonna change this to 11. But yeah, it's frustrating. Okay. So we're gonna go to the space hub. I still have to fix this issue, but we will do that. No clip true. So here's the plaque, right? You open it up, fine, right? There's nothing wrong with it. But then when you close it and try to open it again, it's broken. So what's happening is it is opening the inventory, and it's visible. Like, it's visible in here for some reason. Like, when I click it again, it is open, but it only renders in when I resize the window. So I'm really confused on what's happening with this, right? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I've been trying to think of, like, why is this happening, but I have no idea. It's like a weird rendering thing, right? Because it's just when I resize the window, and I don't know why that's the case. It's super weird. So I'm gonna have to figure this out. Oh, you say like Sue and soup. Okay. Maxulis. Yeah. Maybe it says like soul. Yeah. Yeah, it just looks like soul because of how it's spelled, but that makes sense though. I'm almost done with this stupid sandwich, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is, right? It's like, I don't know what's causing it. I don't know. It's really frustrating. It's only when we resize the window for some reason. It's like some weird drawing error. Okay. I am done, guys. I'm sorry. Hey, Pixel Pilgrim, what's up? And TK, how's it going? How you doing? It's going good. Just working away more Space Hub stuff. We are having some weird bugs, though. So, with this plaque that I added, it's like fine. It works, but for some reason, if I close and open it again, the inventory right now is technically open, but it doesn't appear until I resize the window, and I don't know what's happening. So it's like some weird rendering issue, right? And it's super weird. I'm not really sure exactly what's happening. I mean, I don't have anything weird in here, you know? This is all just pretty normal stuff. It doesn't throw any errors or anything. No warnings. Just a weird rendering thing. I don't think there's anything in here that would cause that, necessarily. I did add some shaders, but I've tried it without the shaders, and it's still the same exact situation, so I know it's not the shaders, necessarily. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of, at a weird spot, you know? Because I'm not really sure what's causing this. I'll have to research it and look it up, because I just can't think of anything else. Okay. Godot until window resize. No, it's very weird. Yo, thank you for the hydrate. Are you drinking? It's a giant bottle of kombucha. Yeah, this isn't my problem. An empty window doesn't have its concept. It just isn't rendering. Yeah, this is sort of, I think, part of the issue that I'm having, right? So it could be like a position thing, right? Where it's like it's repositioning these nodes. But it doesn't make any sense, because this is centered full rectangle. Right? Unless it's because I'm not supposed to do it that way. But I'm pretty sure that's how I have every single UI set up. Yeah. This is set up like that, then with the slot container thing. And everything beneath it. Hey, just joined here instead. Welcome in. Yeah, I don't know. This is just such a weird thing. I mean, I don't think it's like some weird setting I have in modulate. The only thing that's like I've done different on here is... Hey, thank you for the follow. It's like the self-modulate is really high, because basically I'm just making it brighter in the background, because the sprite's normally black. But I really doubt that's the problem, because that's never caused me any issues in the past. Right, like, see, it's still happening. But I resized the window and everything's fine. This is so weird. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Jams? I don't stock market. Bye. Let's go. Yeah. I think it'll be fun to implement that stock market. We gotta figure out this stupid bug, though. I will, show you what's going on here. Unless we fixed it. That'd be nice if we did. Okay. Come on, load. Hurry and load. Hurry. Alright. So, we go to Space Hub. Again, I still have to fix this spawn position. We will do that. So I right-click on this plaque. It's fine the first time, but then when I go into it again, it's open, and it even shows, like, if we go to the... Well, you just saw what happens here. If we move or resize the window, it appears again, right? It's the weirdest, one of the weirdest things I've ever seen happen. Like, it's invisible, but it's not. It's visible if you just move the window. So it's like some weird rendering thing. I don't know what's really happening, honestly. It's very, very strange. What's going on? Well, it wasn't this. So let's just set that back to what it was. It could be a Godot bug, but I just don't know, like, what am I doing to cause it? The only thing I can think of is in player and adding the... So, like, when we open a inventory, I think we run open inventory. This one. So it's right here. This is where we say add the inventory, right? So maybe it's in here where I say add child. I can say .call deferred. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it could be a Godot bug. I'll have to look around and see if I can find it. But yeah, it's a super weird bug. I mean, this is like... See, I mean, now look, it's fine. It's not doing it anymore. It's just, I don't know why you would have to call deferred on it, right? Because it's just odd because there's like almost 100, not 100, but there's tens and tons of UI in the game, right? I mean, all of these UIs, every single one I've added, I've never had that issue happen, right? It always just instantly pops up. So it's just very strange that this is the only UI that I've ever added that has now decided to do that, right? It's just very weird. Call deferred seems to always fix my problems with weird stuff like this. I don't know. When alien font? The alien font's ready, honestly. It is, I have it on my computer, I think. I just need to, import it into the game. I think we're gonna make this plaque in just plain English, though. The alien font, the galactic standard font's probably gonna be more for, like, secret stuff. This is kind of a... Not really a secret, it's in the space hub in a statue that everyone can see, right? So it feels a little weird to obscure the text. Well, let's just load this up and make sure it's fine. It's super dumb. We still gotta fix this. It's an easy fix, though. I'm just gonna add another variable, another tag to regions that's like spawn position. See, I mean, it's fine now. It's fine. No issues anymore. Very weird. I don't know, guys. But we're good now, I guess. So yeah, that's it. Just very frustrating when stuff like that happens, because it's like, why do I have to do call defer? There's no... It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's like some weird frame setting up thing with the rendering. I have no idea, honestly. But I'll definitely look around later and see if that is like a known bug. Because it's... I don't think that's supposed to happen. I mean, it hasn't happened ever before. That's so... That's what's so confusing, right? It's never happened to me before. So I don't know. But anyways... Yeah, this is what I've been working on, Jams. I don't know if you've seen the whole space hub or not yet, but it is looking way better than it used to. It used to just be a tiny little plus shape, and it was kind of boring. But now it's a whole area here. So yeah, it's going pretty good. There's like a hangar bay for the ships or whatever. And then we want to have like little guys walking around in here. I think that will be cool. I know Dylan's working on some alien races, so I would love to have just like kind of random NPC guys walk around. Can't believe how quick you've done this. I know, I'm rushing to get things done because I've got until February 7th. Right, and that's the deadline for the 2 Left Thumbs sale, so I'm trying my best. But it's getting there. Still got a bunch of other things I have to do, but hopefully we can get a bunch of this done. I mean, a lot of this we don't necessarily have to do, right? I mean, what I'm really going to be focusing on right now is just like the pure gameplay, like necessary stuff, right? Like, I really want to get item selling in because it feels a little pointless to fish if you don't get anything from it. Right, so that's one of the big things. I agree, this is great. Thank you. Did you create the artwork? I did. I created all of the artwork that you see before your eyes right now. So it's a lot of time for tile sets like this, because this is an enormous tile set, right? You've got to draw just a million pieces. I mean, even just this top line is like, you know, 6 different pieces, and it's like, it's so much work. I'm not even done. I still have way more I have to do. Because I want to add more floor variations and some more wall variations, and it just takes a million years, man. But it's worth it, though. I mean, it looks cool. Yeah, the second ship looks like a fish. I see it. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't know if I'll add more ships in here or not. I'll wait and see. Because it's kind of extra, not necessary, but I don't know. But yeah, this is all working now. Thank God, dude. That was like really just a weird issue. Yeah, this guy is working. I have to change his items that he's selling to the fishing artifacts, but we'll do that. So let's just do that really quick. So let's see. Space Hub. Probably one day I'm gonna change these guys' lists into loot tables. Because right now they're just kind of in the scene, but that's not very moddable, so I'll probably change that. Okay, channel points not going to get pixel art. Well, I appreciate it. I'm probably gonna get rid of that channel reward or set like some constraints, because it's just the... It's always the thing if someone comes in and is like, I want this incredible scene that is 640 by 480 and I with intense intricate detail. I'm just like, oh, you know, too much work. Cause I got stuff I gotta do. Hey, thanks so much for the raid, Magnetonics. Welcome, man. Give you a shout out. There you are. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Welcome in. How's everyone doing? What were you up to today in your stream? I don't know if I did drawing done yesterday. Exactly right. Yeah, I hope you're doing good. Welcome in. Shut today. I haven't made it to stream well. Yeah, we are working on a bunch of stuff, mainly just Space Hub stuff right now. Let me load it up and show you what we got going on. 1,000 coins might be a little bit too many for this, but I don't know. We'll see about that. Okay, so let's go into the save. I've been taking a month off from game dev, so I was just playing games, getting back into it next weekend. Nice, yeah. It's always important to take breaks every once in a while, you know, because it can get really tiring. And then if you're not having fun and start hating it, well, then it's not going to go very well, right? So, but yeah, we've been just working on Space Hub stuff. So this whole area in here now has been completely sort of redone. Hold on, I have to... We'll fix this next. So it's a whole new zone in here. It's looking pretty good, I would say. Now people have their own like little rooms. And yeah, this is the guy that sells the fishing supplies, right? That is really weird how it's like that. Did I misspell that as fishing? Let me go fix that. I did. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so that's very odd in the shop. It's not supposed to be like that. So maybe we're gonna take another look at that. But yeah, now you can buy these fishing components. I don't know about pricing. I just have to play and like... Because Ultimate Fishing Reel really should be something that you get like after hours of fishing and... You know, like that shouldn't be an easy thing to buy. But I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, we've been working on a whole bunch of stuff. Fishing is in the game, so you can cast your rod and catch fish. I might put some fish in here in the Space Hub, but most of the fish are here in Viridian. So like this is where you're not supposed to be able to walk on water, but this is how the fishing works. You throw the bobber down, wait for a bite, and then it opens up a little mini game. So this, you just have like this reel in the center and you have to rotate it around to move the hook zone or whatever it is, right? But it works pretty well. I will have to get it sort of set up with multiplayer, which is going to be a whole thing. But it is working. As you can see, the big fish are hard. But yeah. It's not necessarily just going to be big fish hard, small fish easy. We'll probably do like... sometimes the big fish are really easy and sometimes they're really hard, right? So... But yeah. I think it'll be fun. It'll tie into like potion brewing and food and just all the stuff. And I think it should be good. But yeah. Actually, I still have loads of motivation. I was just waiting for feedback from my pre-alpha. Ah, okay. Kind of pushed myself toward the end of the year, so I just forced myself to take a break. Probably a good idea. I think the fishing rod, the cost of the bike in Pokemon Gen 1 and slap a sale sign on it, yeah. I probably won't, I think the fishing rod is going to be just kind of a thing that you get right off the bat, right? So, also, Win Goes, thank you for the follow. Good game has a fishing minigame. Yeah, it's fun. Fishing can be really fun if you do it right, I feel like. I've seen my fair share of bad fishing games, but a lot of them are really good, though. I'm just trying to see like why I'm getting these random lag spikes. It's not really anything in particular. I mean, the animal physics process definitely is a little bit of an impact. I do have to optimize the animals more, because that's the kind of thing that's going to be a lot of, right? And I think it's mainly just like the... I mean, let's go look at what's going on in the fish, right? I mean, the physics process for this animal really isn't that insane. It's probably just getting the closest player target, right? Every single frame. That's obviously a stupid method. But doing my raycast updates better. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to, I think, optimize this. Only grab the player, like, every once in a while or something. Or, honestly, just tie this checking stuff kind of, like, down into the pathing frames, which would make it 10 times faster, so... Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll figure it out, but it's not, like, a huge issue right now. I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be that many more than this amount, so... but yeah, let's fix the space hub spawning position. It's kind of, broken right now. Let's snooze the ad. So, what I want to do is just add another tag on, which is like, spawn offset, so that we have like a spawn coordinate defined for each region, right? And this by default will just be a vector2.0. So now we can say in the space hub, I'm just going to say spawn offset. It's going to be vector2 096 or something. We'll figure out where the landing pad is. I'll go grab some food, keep up the good work, and have a good one. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks so much again for the raid, and have some good food. Let's go look in the space hub to see where our landing pad is. I don't know why everything's so laggy right now. Wish my computer didn't run like garbage. 212 is where it is. So let's do it there. What is so slow? Is it just having the game open? I guess. I don't know. So in regions table, we're going to set that to 212. And then we just have to modify the player teleport script. It's like on Star Launcher finished. So this is where the player actually teleports, set the region. Start pod at global position. Yeah, right here. Global position, star launcher TP. So what is star launcher TP over here? We just say region data dot location. Let's say that plus region data dot spawn offset. Right, so that will add that offset into our teleport location. So that should be good. All right, let's go try it out. So yeah, this should fix spawning inside of the fountain. That was always kind of a stupid thing. Yeah, I may make it so that there's fish in the space hub also. I've got the black lung. Okay. Okay. So we should spawn down below. Yeah, there we go. That is better. Cool. Alright, so... Space Hub is pretty much there. There's not too many more things I want to do here. You know, the shopkeeper guys are looking good. I would love to do portraits on the left side. That is not supposed to happen. This is the thing that's frustrating about this stuff, is now that I fixed the plaque, it's gonna break everything else in the game. God dang it. I mean, look at it, it's... God dang it, dude. Yeah, this is frustrating. So... Player inventory is that. So item preview.close. It could be that the other one is technically in there. I just need to free it as soon as I close the inventory. So how could I do that? I do item preview.close. I don't think that's where I do it, but maybe. Let's go make sure. Item. Where's the item preview? Here it is. Another ad. The ads. Stop them. So in close. Okay, so I do run queue free on these. Right, so I say child and inventory grids. As long as it's not the character's inventory and it's not a label. Which actually, I don't do labels separate now anymore, so I could probably get rid of that. Then child queue free. So we do queue free. I mean, that's probably a good idea. But I wonder if it's like... I don't know. This is so annoying, dude. Maybe we need to, inside of the player, run this. We do run it first. God dang it, dude. This is so frustrating. It's like, I don't even know what's happening here now, right? Like some weird control node positioning stuff. It's like, what is it doing? Why is it organized like this, right? And I bet it's fine when I refresh, yep. So it'll just shift down. It looks like the shop is in the center for some reason. And the inventory is just out of the universe. The only thing I could think of is that if I grab the UI inventory and change it, because I think it's just a a margin. Yeah, I say size is equal to vector 2.0. Maybe. And I'll actually do that in open inventory. Ah. So I can just go down to here. Open inventory, where to get all those. That doesn't seem like the right one. Oh, it's right here. So here I'm just gonna say set the size to 0. It doesn't usually seem to work, but... See, what is happening? It seems okay now? Question mark? No. It's like, why is it up there? What? This, I don't know. There's something weird going on with the control nodes right now. I don't know why it would do this, right? This doesn't make any sense. Why is the inventory just above everything? I mean, let's go look in remote and look at the player, I guess, but I never see anything weird in there. It's just like a weird, unknowable thing. I don't know. You know, because you think it's like, oh, maybe there's like a hidden node in there or something, but it's never that, so I don't know anymore. Just gonna try and find the player. I can't figure out how to search for the player, which is really frustrating, because I wish I could. I can type in 1, you know, because that's the name of the player, but it doesn't actually work. Because it just shows everything with a 1 in the name, so it's like, alright. Items. Where is it, dude? See, it's not even here. Yeah, it's so frustrating with these stupid inventory things, because this is not what I want to work on right now. I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got to go work on the important things. I'm not trying to fix some stupid UI positioning stuff. I can't even find it in here, man. Why is the search on this just doesn't work? I've tried to search for like character body 2D and stuff. Okay, there it is. But it just doesn't do anything. It just doesn't show anything. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but... Okay, so UI inventory. See, the only thing we have in here is just the inventory. So why is it broken? Why does it screw everything up? It just doesn't make any sense. I honestly should change all these inventories away from center containers, because it doesn't make any sense. I mean, they shouldn't be a center container. The UI inventory is already in the center. Right, so it's gonna stay in the center. So hey, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. So yeah, honestly, I should just say... It's fine having the grids. That's a whole lot of work to change everything away from a center container. I don't know, it's not the center container, because it's fine most of the time, but then sometimes it just decides, I'm gonna be stupid and be up here now. Right, I mean, this is so dumb. I mean, what's going on in here? It's not this that's offset. I mean, this is just... That's whatever. This is up for some reason. Right, we have position. Position is 0. So I don't know why it's up in the sky like that. Position 0 on that. It's the UI inventory position is just completely wrong. And that's what's happening here. But I don't know why it's broken. So I'm not gonna say that, I'm just gonna say size or like position. Equal to vector 2.0 maybe. I just need like a line to just kind of kickstart it back into the right position. But see, it's not working, so... I don't know. Because this should be down here. This should be like position whatever half the screen is. My control nodes are just not doing what they're supposed to. This should update automatically. It should, because it's set to center mode, right, on the UI inventory. So it should always stay in the center of the screen, but then it just decides, oh, I'm actually just gonna go move around really quick. You know, it's really annoying. I mean, it could be that the size is weird, and it is in the center, but the size is not weird. I mean, what is happening, dude? What is going on? This is completely broken now. It's off in nowhere town. I don't know what's happening. I mean, maybe it's like a thing where I've got to... Before I make the thing visible, I've got to give it more time to add the nodes. Maybe. It's the only thing I can think of. God, why is it so slow right now? I don't have the profiler on or anything, I don't think. Let's just clear the profiler, maybe that's our problem. It's a little better. So add inventory. Right? This is where it's just gonna do all this stuff. I'm gonna say add it as a child. So there's nothing in here that should be wrong. And back to the player, I just say open inventory. If authority, blah blah blah. So I say it's visible right here. Maybe I have to await 1 frame. I don't know. Dot process frame. Just so it has like a second to update the position stuff or something. I have no idea. It's always so annoying. It's like, why does it do this? I don't know. It's never been a problem before, and now Godot today has decided everything is broken now. I want nothing to work. It's super annoying. Because I've had so many other things I have to go add in the economy. Okay, let's see if this does anything. I mean, it seems fine. I'm opening up inventories and nothing is wrong. But let's go, let's go make sure. So I open this one up. Everything is fine. I can open it multiple times. Inventory is normal. Talk to the shopkeeper. It's all normal. Well, it seems okay. I guess adding in a wait for a frame fixes it because it's like, I think you need to add the nodes before you update the visuals of it. Right? I'm probably going to change that to a process frame though, because the physics frame is very long. But it seems fine now. Oh no. It just seems very strange that, like, sometimes it just completely incorrectly calculates where it's supposed to be. It's just so weird. I don't know. Well, it's fine now. Let's try and add in some more stuff then. Weirdest problems, guys. I don't know. Okay, anyways, so what have we got done in here? We fixed the position stuff, which is good. I would like to do... We could add the fish into the space hub really quick. I don't think it's gonna be that hard. We just have to do it. So that's gonna be inside of our world generator script. Basically down here, we're just gonna say... I am gonna have to do like a region thing for the space hub. Because how big can I make the box? We're spawning the fish in the space hub. Let's go look. Because we can do like here, the easiest way is just going to be using a tile set to check. Tiles, train. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can do basically like a 4x4 box right here, or really an 8x8 box, right? From -4 to +4, and that'll be our fish spawning zone. So what is going on here? Why is that saying that it's incorrect tiles? Oh well, we'll just swap and delete those. Also, error spotted. Okay. So the problem with how our fish spawning functions are set up in the world generator script is that it's set up to spawn in the whole world, but for the space hub we have to do a very specific region, which is kind of a problem. But I think what I'll do is just let's go to our create all fish function and stuff, right? So create all fish. Okay. So this will just do create fish. Now the thing is that it's getting the map size factor. I don't necessarily want to do that. But I guess it's fine because we just do that here. So yeah, that's what we can do. We can have two separate things. So we'll say num for the space hub is like 8 or something. Var snum is 8. Or while snum, let's actually say that's 0 less than 8. If create fish num snum plus equals 1. So create fish we'll set it up so that we can do different coordinates and stuff. So I'm actually just gonna make a variable that I think is like the forced limit. Yeah, because this can only create them from 0, 0, which isn't what we want. So for create fish, I'm gonna pass in. Well, I can't really pass that in because we won't be doing that from the fish. So I'm just gonna have to check the region. So region ID. So up here, the region ID is gonna be Starground region Meridian. And then here it's gonna be Starground region Space Hub. All right, so maximum tries, size offset. So we have random coordinates. So I'm just gonna say if region ID is equal to Starground region Meridian, go ahead and do that stuff, but then otherwise I want it to be a different region. So rand chord will be vector2, rand f range -4 to 4, rand f range -4 to 4 times 16. Right, let's do a rand chord up here. Okay. So that's 16. I do have to offset it though for the space hub position, right? So var region is mod API.get region from ID, Starground region Space hub. So I'm grabbing that region. I'm going to say region dot location. So that'll do it in the center. And I shouldn't need parentheses here, but I'll do it just to be safe. All right. So that will mean that the new coordinates, if we're in the space hub, will be from -4 to 4. Yeah, cool. So we are gonna save that. Let's go into the fish stuff. Fish. So I am gonna grab another variable here. There's gonna be onReady var mod API or region ID is equal to get region at position, just our global position, right? So that's we're gonna save a region ID variable in this fish so that eventually later when we destroy the fish, where do I attach that? Yeah, respawn. I just say main.create fish, and we have to pass in our region ID. So now whenever we kill a fish, it'll respawn one in the same region as where it was killed or caught, right? So if we catch it in the space hub, it'll be in the space hub. So cradle fish will create the space hub fish, and yeah, we should be good to go. All right. I don't know if this will work. Let's give it a try. Okay, so there should be 8 fish in the space hub. We don't need that many fish to be in the space hub because it's not an ocean. It's just a little pond thing in the center, so it wouldn't make any sense. Let's go check it. Yes. Now they are escaping somehow. They've breached containment. 8 fish may be too many. I don't know how they got out. I think what we're gonna do is actually set the spawn position of the fish to just be a single point, because they'll spread out, right, over time. So we don't need to make it complicated and have like a region that they spawn in. We're just gonna make it a single individual point. So let's try that. And hopefully this will work. Oh yeah, I was gonna decrease the quantity also. We'll do that. Have I been opening 2 games this whole time? Okay, no, it's just broken. So let's decrease that from 8 to 4, probably. Or maybe 5. The Space Hub fish is mainly like a weird special thing. It's not meant to be like your fishing spot, right? Hopefully they don't breach anymore. It's kind of a big problem when they do. Yeah, that seems to be working. Now, he seems to be kind of stuck in place. I don't know if that's... So I only see 1 fish. Do you guys see any others here? Oh, the collision on the fountain is broken. It's because, yeah, they're all going to be stacked up on the same point. We have to change the collision polygon. This is not how it's supposed to be. it's not letting me... Yeah, let's just redo this whole collision polygon. I don't know if it'll let me do like a collision polygon with a gap. I'm not sure. Because we can do like this, but then can I add another gap in the center, you know? Not really. Yeah. So we could break it up into 2 chunks. I guess that's going to be the best way to do it. Okay, so we'll just have 2 collision polygons. So first one. This will be from the inside. Bring it down. Whatever, it's good enough. So let's see. I don't want the fish going up on the side, so let's do it right there. Oops, that really shouldn't be a... Oh, God. Let's add more. Ooh. No! Oh, my God. Alright, I guess we're undoing it again. Okay, we can't mess up. We're just gonna not stop until it's fully filled in. Okay, I placed that one wrong, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Because we can fix it after, but I guess trying to do it while we're in this mode will screw it all up. Should be pretty easy. I think we can just flip this this node, hopefully, for the other side. There. Boom. Collision shape acquired. Alright, so let's modify now. First off, this was odd. Okay. That's looking good for the inside. Except it's not. Let's fix that one. Okay, so for the outside collision, I'm not sure exactly where I want to draw the line, because it's like... I guess I'll move this one over one. I'm not entirely sure about this diagonal, but I guess that's fine right there. Like here, I guess I'll give it one more pixel. Oh wait, I gotta go. Boom, boom. All right, good enough. What's up, Shard? Welcome in. I just don't want these guys to phase through the collision boxes. I don't think they will, but it is always kind of a risk. So let's, I don't know if I can flip this. We'll try. I mean, I could literally just set the scale to -1, but that could cause some weird issues, I would imagine. I can just set all the zeros to the opposite, right? Wait a minute. Is this a unique? No, this should be fine. It's like 31, 31, 94, 127, 95, 31, 31, 42, 42. I don't know if this is working. Seems like it could be. Oh yeah, it worked. Sick. Alright, so that should be fine now, and the fish inside should have a proper collision box. They shouldn't just get all weirdly jammed into the corner. Alright. Let's try this again. We're getting there. We're getting very close. I'm going to start kind of separating this into absolutely necessary and optional stuff, right? Absolutely necessary. So there's like stuff I really have to do. Well, we got fish in the space hub. Let's just go make sure that that's done. But I have to make sure that fishing with multiplayer is going to work. And fishing with controller. I definitely want the new tile set in so we don't get any weird issue stuff. Fishing sounds, I would say, is absolutely necessary. Weather effects affecting loot tables is not. Neither are hats. I'll say the boot fish is necessary because I would like to add that in. Recipe for potions is absolutely necessary. Dungeon soul gathering, absolutely necessary. Fishing NPC is like basically done, so I'll say it's absolutely necessary. It's okay for now. Let's go make sure these fish are here. Well, they are here. They're just kind of stuck in the corner. I'm not sure what they're doing. They really want to go left, and I think I know exactly why that is. It's because of their pathfinding. They're trying to path to the boundaries of their region, which is wrong. So I have to say, like, on wander. Pick new wander target. Right, because it's going to clamp this to the boundaries of its region. I do have region offset and stuff. I do have that. So that's weird. Right, because I say plus region offset, so it should be working. Region offset is get region at position. That location. I'm just going to print out region offset. Most of it should be 0, but yeah, we're going to get some 10,000s in here, which is where the space hub is. So, how would that happen then? So for their wander target, it just says global position plus the distance. Yeah, so I mean, it should be fine there. I don't know why they're trying so hard to get back to Viridian. Because they don't need to. See, like when I put the bobber down, they pay attention. Odd. So I must have something wrong in here. Let me copy this whole bit right here. Maybe this is like a weird value. Oops. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Let's try this. Maybe we'll see something in here that's weird. Alt resolve inheritance from animal. Okay, cool. All the fish are broken forever. Epic. Let's restart. Because I'm thinking that this is just evaluating to the wrong value. So we get generation info size +8 with the offset times 16 plus region offset dot x. So it should be working, but maybe it's not. Maybe the math doesn't check out. No, I do that +8. It should be working. So this is what it's printing. Just 1152. Oh, but I do say plus region offset.x. No, I do that in here, but it's not working. So that is the issue. For some reason, it's just not working. Oh, no, it is working. 11152. Yeah, because it's offset by 1,000. But then again, like, why are they not... I don't know why they're wanting to go left so bad. Because target position is goal position plus distance rotated, that stuff, right? I'm gonna say clamp F, target position. So clamp it from that. Oh, it's a negative that to that. That's why it's broken. So it doesn't make any sense. So what we have to say is not that. Yeah, I don't say X. I don't know what I'm thinking. So first off, we're just gonna do that. Yeah, I am going to fix this a little bit. Okay, so we have clamp F. So it's going to be clamped between those values. So first off, I'm just going to say var bound is going to be this. So that'll be size divided by 2 plus 8 times 16. So that's going to be, in the case of Viridian, like minus 512 or whatever. So then we're going to take bound, minus bound, and bound. But then this one is going to be plus region offset. Now this is just floats, clamped between the two values, yeah. Region offset. Doesn't make sense. This should just be clamp, I think. Right, so minimum will be the two verticals. So vector 2. Okay, this should work, I hope. Then another vector 2. Hey, Frisco, what's up? How's it going? How have you been doing? So we have minus bound plus region offset dot x minus bound plus region offset dot y. And then we do the same thing, but instead of minus, it's just normal. Now, I have to make that negative before I add it, right? I don't know if that matters, but I think that's the case. Because I think it's saying, like, negative bound. I don't know. I probably don't need that. I'm fine, nice. Ad break. Hold on. Yeah. Bad timing. Minus bound plus region offset. That minus. Okay, let's try this out. Hopefully this will fix their. Yeah, there we go. Now they're not trying to cram themselves into the corner. Cool. Looks like the collision on the fountain is working just fine. Alright. I think we are good for that. Yeah, I think the fish are looking normal in here. I can fish them up if I want. Just make sure that works. I mean, it should. I don't see why not. It died. Dictionary and string. Why would region ID... Did I say get region from ID? That's what I said. I have to fix that. Let's go back to the fish. So region ID is get region ID at position. Okay. Alright, anyways, ads are done. Yeah, sorry about that. You unfortunately, Frisco, you came in right when the ads started, so yeah. But yeah, anyways, development gone good. Yeah, it's gone really well. We're getting closer every day to having this update ready to go. So, got something in my eye. Yeah, it's going good. What's up, Sakelas? How's it going? Yeah, shark in the water fountain's gonna sus. I think it's fine. I could make it so only small fish spawn in here, but I think it's okay. Oh, this guy's feisty. I can't. I can't get him. Cool. Well, that's working now. I've wanted the fish in there, so I can give myself. Let's get a better reel. So ultimate reel, and let's try again with the better reel. Yeah, a little bit easier with this reel. Oh. Okay, I did fix that. It's just because the fish still have that ID set, right? Okay, I got an octopus. Let's restart the game. And you make it to the fish are the same color as the stuff in the water, actually. So probably do that. Because right now they're set to the color in the ocean. So I just have to say in ready, depending on what region it's in. So if region is equal to Starground region space hub, change modulate.a, or just modulate to that. But yeah. It's going alright. Visit my grandfather for the first time in 2 years. Oh, nice. That's always good. Yeah, I wish it was easier to visit my grandparents, but it's, they're very far away, which is one thing. And yeah, it's just hard to find the time. It's my last living grandparent. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I still got most of my grandparents alive. I've got my 2 from my dad's side, then my grandma from my mom's side. It's big boy bucks now. Yeah, those have been around for a while. Those have been around since like a year, basically. So. Oh yeah, I'm modulating the main sprite. I gotta make sure to do that. So this has to be color.hex 0x ff, like that. Oops, region ID. All right, so that'll change the color depending on what region they're in. A year? It's definitely been a year. I remember we did it basically right after I got affiliates, so I'm pretty sure it's been a year. Maybe a little less than a year, maybe like 11 months, but it didn't take us that long to do it. You have 13,000 of them? Let's go. All right, let's go check and make sure these guys have changed their color, which they have. Epic. So yeah, I think that looks nice. Because this water's cleaner, you know, so it makes kind of sense, I guess. Come on, bite. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to catch these big fish. I'm probably gonna decrease the difficulty on the big fish because it's like really hard. You know, it's like, whoa. Yeah, it's too hard. But yeah. Okay, everything is working. So this is weird. I forgot about this. It's got a weird, big, massive gap. Let's see if we can fix that. Oh god. So in the shop, we've got the where is it? We're gonna instantiate some buttons here. Wait, no, it's not in here, it's in here. The buy button. So why is this stupid? We have the name down here, and that's gonna say word smart. I don't know why it would have that weird gap right there, right? Because it's braided space fishing line. I wonder if it's just because it's on word smart. I mean, it is because it's on word smart, but that's stupid that the space has its own line, right? That's kind of dumb. I may also change the layout of the shop a little bit. I think the shop could be wider. Like if we go look at the, like this, for example. I don't think these need to be that tiny. I think we could increase the size of these to be like 2. So like they're double the width. I would say that's probably what we should do. We'll just change the size of this button to 96. Kind of like that. So that's sort of how the shop would be laid out, just a little more relaxed. It doesn't have to be so compact. But yeah, that's probably fine. Or we just don't do it as a grid, we do it as a list, which maybe that's what we'll do. I don't know. We have options. Because like this one, I don't know, we could do it as a list. I don't know, I'm not sure. There's pros and cons to both. I just don't like how little space there is for the name, right? Because it's very tiny. Sometimes it looks kind of bad. I mean, I'd like it to be a little bit longer, probably. At least like 80. And maybe you can decrease the vertical size, right? Like it doesn't have to be so tall. 32. I don't know how that looks. Might be a little weird with the icons. I don't know, it is a little weird, isn't it? But maybe it's just because the shop has the grid has a lot of slots. Maybe I lower that to 3 columns. And that probably looks okay. Yeah. I think I just needed a little bit longer on the buttons. That looks fine now. Alright. That seems fine. Yeah. There is some things that are kind of weird, like the Dragon Slayer having the R down there, but it's okay. But it's way better in here. Like, this just looks way better, right? I would like to work on the shop stuff more. I know some of the things I've brought up already are a portrait on the side for the NPC you're talking to, and I'd also like maybe like different categories or even different tabs in the shop, right? So that you can kind of go through and find what you want easier. Because I imagine as time goes on, these shopkeepers will get a lot more items to sell. Especially if like you unlock new things later and stuff, right? So like this guy, I could see that getting pretty insane. So it might be good to, you know, add some more tabs in here. I don't know yet. I'll probably wait on that for now. Dog moment. Anyways, let's do our selling shop, because I think it's time. It basically works very similar to a shop, like how this works, but it'll have, it'll be the inverse, right? So... So, like, it's like, how many do you want to sell? And then it gives you the amount of money you will earn up there or whatever. I'll probably change it up a little bit. Yeah, I'm just thinking about, like, shop selling, making sure that's the route I want to go. The other option is just making it so that every shop seller has the ability to buy your items so you can sell your stuff, right? It's kind of like how Stardew does it, where it's like, but I don't know, I like the whole like stock market aspect of it, right? So maybe we'll do that. I don't know if I'll let people buy from the stock market. But I'll just let them sell. Because if we let them buy from the stock market, it gets really complicated, right? Because it's just going to be too easy to cheese the entire economy. I do kind of want to avoid that. Because you could just buy stuff from these guys really cheap when the stock market is high, right? And then resell these items for an insane price. And it just gets kind of bad. So yeah, I'll probably just have it so you can just sell. Okay, so what do we want to do for that? Figure just some kind of like terminal would be the best, right? We can put it wherever. I don't really know where it's going to be. Maybe just right here. But let's get working on that. So it's going to be relatively big, not enormous, but let's go into our, just draw it in here, honestly. So here's our little cheese guy. It's going to be pretty big. I'm going to have to make some space here. I don't know what those cubes are, so... So when I think of a selling terminal, and we might replace this with an NPC later on, but I need to get this done, so it's going to be a building right now. Selling terminal. I mean, those are just... yeah. Credit card terminals. Yeah, this is the Galactic Trade Terminal. Yeah, but see, this is the funny thing with No Man's Sky is like, how to make 500 million units every second. It's just very unbalanced because of that, how it kind of works. I want the economy in this to feel more real, in the sense of like, you can do that kind of thing with like stocks, but I do want the economy to like crash if you sell too much of one thing. Because that's just how it goes, right? I want people to sell different things and not just constantly selling the same thing and expecting $1 million from it, right? Because it's too easy just to grow 1,000 trees and sell tens of thousands of wood. Eventually, it should get to a spot where the value of that drops. Well, it looks like it's kind of just like a weird-looking terminal thing. So I'll probably do something like that, but a little beefier. So let's just kind of get started on some shapes here. Probably about that big. But let's make it a nice number. Okay. Maybe like wide for this one. I don't want it to be too tall. I'm not sure yet. I don't really know exactly what I want this to look like. We could do like that, where it's like... Let me try some stuff here. I have to make sure this is centered. So this will be like the center terminal bit. And then maybe we have like sort of a counter. There's probably going to be all sorts of misaligned and stuff. We'll fix it later. And then I want like a little bit of a hutch, and this is where the actual terminal will be, right? So right in there. This is sort of what I'm thinking. I think this could work okay. And I kind of want like some lines on the side. I don't know why. Like that. Should I have like a robot eye looking down at you? Maybe this has a screen. And like this is the terminal, right? I feel like he'd be like kind of sleepy. Yeah, that could work. Give me 1 second, everybody. Hold on. Oh, we got a raid. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Zelix, thank you so much for the raid. Sorry, I was just leaving for 1 second. Welcome in. What's going on? How's it going? Yeah. No, I was talking to my mom. But yeah, let's go. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Welcome in. We are, I'm working on a trading terminal for the Space Hub, so it's going to be a way to sell your items. Hey, cheese time. Let's go. It's going good. I'm just drawing like a little screen for this guy. So yeah. Let's see. We want like a screen down here. I need to make sure that this is all kind of in proportion to the player. At least relatively. The player is canonically small, so it's fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, cool. Hey, Finn, what's up? How's it going? Not much. Knocked out a couple more stupid little sneaky saving issues. Almost have completed gameplay loop. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. Gameplay loop, getting that established is very good. Because then after that, it's kind of like you can start working on the more fun extra things, right? Or just kind of enhance things instead of having to work on all these massive systems right from scratch. But yeah, it's nice. But yeah, this is the trading terminal. These colors are not final, but I'm just kind of messing around until I find something that looks sort of how I want. I feel like it needs like a little bit of a little thing on the side here. So let's do that. Also, yeah, Ace, I saw your message. I'm in the Discord server, so I got pinged when it came out, but yes, the new BTA update is out. I'm excited for it. Because, dude, this is going to be where we can finally, like, actually automate stuff. Because they added in, like, the upgraded pistons. It's going to be super awesome. I'm really excited to try that out, yeah. I mean, I still have the other world. We can always load that one back up if we want. What? That is weird. Oh, it's because it's on a different layer. Yeah, I can actually start building out what the game is. Yeah, right. Instead of having a pile of systems that are not connected. Exactly. Yeah, because Starground was in that state for a while. Like with the dungeons. Like for the longest time, the dungeons were just completely kind of separate from everything. It still needs more work, but definitely like with the artifacts and stuff, it's just way more connected to the automation, which is good. And yeah, not saying that it's perfect, but it's better than it was. I mean, coins used to not even exist and stuff, you know, so it's just kind of like, well, what is automation even for then, right? Or not automation, dungeoning. Alright, so I can see that there is a weird issue here. That needs to be moved. Yeah, I think the colors actually look okay, even though they were meant to just be temporary. Which is funny. But yeah, maybe it's not too bad. I wanted to add like a little bit of a foundation to this guy, right? I don't know, I figured he'd be like up on a platform. This looks pretty good though. But yeah, this trading terminal will just be for selling items. I'm not going to do buying items yet because that is a whole can of worms for balancing. Because I have to balance the prices with the shopkeepers so you don't end up with a situation where you get infinite money. Because that's kind of a bad thing for balancing, believe it or not. But yeah. We got some bolts up here. What else? I mean, honestly, this isn't bad. It's almost where I want it. This would have a shadow here. I feel like it needs some vents. I feel like this guy would get really hot. Running all the economy calculations in his brain. Maybe we add some vents up here. Or maybe we just do one vent. I kind of like the asymmetry of that, right? And maybe like some other bits and bobs. Maybe like a little panel of buttons or something right here, right? Just like random little light indicators and stuff. Like maybe we have like a green bar. Alright, I don't know. Just random crap. Maybe it would be like that. I don't know. That looks okay, I would say. Let's see. It's too dark. We'll go with that. This would probably also be another little kind of inset panel. Just like that. And this would actually be up here, down here. That's not bad. I think this is like, maybe there's like a little keypad or something for passwords. I don't know. You know, this stuff doesn't actually have to be real. This is just kind of random stupid stuff. I would like some tubes. So I'd like a tube maybe over here on the side. Maybe it doesn't go out that much, but I don't know why tubes. Maybe like a spot where you put your item in and it goes away to the market, you know? Maybe that's what the tubes are for. I guess that's okay. I feel like maybe a tube right here. That goes to the top of his head. Yeah. I think tubes look epic. Now let's just connect these up. Round them out and make them not look stupid. I wanted this to be more curvy here. Kind of like that. This one's okay. Let's do some little bits on here. It just kind of makes the tube look more, I don't know. Have some texture. It looks like one of those tubes with like the lines, you know what I'm talking about, the flexible ones. I've done a lot of these tubes over on like the spaceships and stuff, so I think it looks pretty good. Now we need a, let's use this color. Like a thing that it goes into, whatever you call that. Connector. Same with here. Let's see, this shouldn't be like, this almost looks too side viewy. I think what would help is like a bright spot right here, and then it goes kind of into darkness, so it's like tube is almost coming in sideways. Then with here, I think the tube's coming out, so here would actually be kind of in darkness. And then bright goes back, here would be in darkness again. Yeah, sort of like that, I guess. Alright. This guy's honestly pretty much done, I think. Only thing I think I would do is have like a container over here for taking the items away, right? Maybe. I don't want it to get too messy, though, on here. Because it needs to be relatively simple. I think it's okay. Maybe I would do some big metal pipes, though. It's kind of like, it's connected to the space station, right? Like pretty big pipes, I would say, like these, right? Because if this is where you're putting your items in, well, the items have to go somewhere, so maybe that's how they get around. Yeah, that'll work. And then let's shade it. Let's see. The colors are kind of cool, actually. I'll probably make them a little bit more in line with the Space Hub colors, but they are kind of interesting. The green is kind of cool, I feel like, so who knows, maybe we'll stick with it. And this needs to have the classic, this thing, whatever you call it. It's like the connection point on the pipe or whatever. All right, maybe we actually would just have the one. I don't think it makes sense to have it on the other side. I think this should be scooted in a little bit. And we'll probably have one of these things again. And probably have this be brighter, so it's kind of like more obvious that this is higher up than that other piece. All right. Yeah, that'll work. Let's outline them. This is where the magic happens. Get rid of all the weird bits. Let's make sure that he's all good. Okay. Fix the sharp corners. Now, the bottoms here will not have outlines. So get rid of those. Neither will this. Maybe right there. Okay. So, for colors, also we need to do some more shading. This would be cast and darkness right there. And so would this down here, honestly. This would be in darkness. And this would be dark back in here. Let's see, let's make this look not as stupid. This would be more like this, I guess. Maybe I just go a little dark here. No, too dark, too dark. It's tricky sometimes with this. We'll try that first. What else would be in darkness? We'd have like a shadow for the pipe right there. Hey, John, how's it going? What's going on, man? How have you been doing? Yeah, it's been a while. Hope you're doing good. I've been just working away at Starground. It's been going really good, actually. Been able to make some money off of it and do it full time, which is really awesome. So yeah, shadow there. I guess this would technically have a shadow right here. This would have some shadow bits around in here. Mainly like here, right? Because this is where the pipe is sort of coming from. Sort of like that. I've been trying to do more shadow stuff recently with these sprites because I think it just looks nice. Because it kind of gives this, it kind of indicates that there's more shape here, you know, which is good. Let's see. Do that. It doesn't look bad for shadowing stuff. Only other thing I'd do probably is like right here. Underneath the, you know. Looks pretty good. I'd say then we would, go ahead and color this to the final color. I don't know what we're gonna do for that. I do kind of like the yellow a little bit, but I just want to make sure it kind of fits in with the style of everything. Maybe we go with, well, I don't want to do red, because that gets really muddy in here. I mean, unless we do the right kind of red. Let's see what it looks like. No, see, it's just too dark, so I don't know. Life's happening, but also working on a small game. Saw something you're still cooking on it. I played a month or so ago, and the new dungeon stuff was really cool. Awesome, yeah. Yeah, it's been good. I've just been trying to update stuff as much as I can and make it fun, you know. This update should be cool, because I've added fishing and just a whole bunch of things, so... hopefully, it is fun for people. Yeah, it's been good. Kind of just in the grind of getting things ready for, ultimately for release, you know? It's gonna take a while, but we'll get there eventually. Yeah, then I think it's just on to the next game. Try and make more money so that I can keep doing it, right? It's not that I need $1 billion, but I do have to make enough to sustain my finances, you know? So it's like... but yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely if you've like got a link up or anything for a game, feel free to come in and send it, because I'd love to check it out. So what's up, Louie? How's it going? How are you doing? So I'm just looking at the like color scheme of the Space Hub and stuff, right? It's mainly gray, brown, and orange. It's a lot of warm tones, but we also do sprinkle in a couple things, like the plants are blue, and the water, and the... So we could use one of those colors sort of in with the palette. We'll definitely keep the orange, because that's kind of like the color scheme of the Frontier company, right? But we can maybe do a blue accent for fun. Let's see what that would look like. And then darker blue, but then darkest blue. And that one really should just be black. I think that could work okay if we made the other colors darker, the other orange colors. Let's say I do like a darker red for that one. Up that one to a red. Then go to orange on that one and the light orange. I think I like that color scheme. I think it could fit in the Space Hub. We can always change it later, of course, the classic. So I'm not really like too concerned about it. I'd say let's go ahead and put it in. Yeah, that makes sense. Slowly plugging away at my own game. Still working at Best Buy at the moment. Yeah, trying to get a demo of the game by the 31st, and we're sure to send it your way. Awesome. Yeah. Definitely, if you're thinking about like Steam stuff, Steam Next Fest is massive for indie game development. Because Starground, the vast majority of all the wish lists we got was from the Next Fest, so. Yeah, I mean, Steam, you know, the $100 fee is kind of a whole thing, but man, I think it's worth it. You just get so much more exposure on Steam versus itch, you know, now that I've like actually put stuff up on both, I can kind of know the difference and compare, you know. But it's pretty crazy. Steam does way more like marketing and advertising for you than you kind of realize, you know. And it's not really that hard, honestly. Like, of course, Steam has more setup. It's just so that the platform doesn't look like trash, right? You have to do like a bunch of different assets for the store page and descriptions and all that stuff, and you send it in to get reviewed by the staff, and then they just message back like either you're good to go or there's a problem here that you should fix, and then you just resubmit it and you're good. It's just a one-time $100 fee per game. It's not that expensive. I mean, basically it's just to weed out trash games that people don't care about, right? I think it's a good thing that Steam has done that. Because otherwise we'd get 1,000 of these little tiny random games on Steam and it would kind of clog up the algorithm more, I feel like. So, but it's definitely worth it. And there's just a lot of really useful things Steam also offers. Steam offers multiplayer stuff, right? Like all the multiplayer in Starground is using the, well, not all of it, but it is using the, like, Steam APIs for it so that you can connect to people straight through Steam. It bypasses all the port forwarding garbage that you have to do. It's very, very nice. So, definitely recommend it. And it is sort of the industry standard for serious games anyways, right? Itch is fine for just like, I've put lots of stuff up on Itch for like game jams and just kind of little random projects that are like more just fun than serious, but yeah, Steam is the way to go though. I would recommend like, even if the game doesn't do very well on Steam, just going through the process and understanding kind of how Steam works and stuff like that is a very valuable experience, honestly. So yeah, it's been good though. I'm glad that I've jumped to it, you know. Some games do blow up on Itch, and Itch can be good. I know that like Buckshot Roulette and stuff was on Itch, but I think the only times that really happens is if the game is already extremely popular beforehand, right? So, but Steam can kind of really help bring games up with it, so. I've only done so far, that's really good to know. Haven't even dared to touch multiplayer, but you're already teaching me a ton of stuff, yeah. Multiplayer is a nightmare, I'm not gonna lie. The problem with multiplayer is it's so, like, it just multiplies the amount of work I have to do, right? Because it's like, okay, I'm gonna add in my fishing mechanic, right? Okay, boom, the player can fish, you know? But then the problem is that, like, multiplayer basically is like a 2 times multiplier for how much work I have to do. And then on top of that, like, controller support is another multiplier, you know? So like these things merge together, and so like I end up with like 4 times the amount of work to add something that would be very easy and for just a little single player game. so you know, keep in mind how that kind of ends up. But yeah, it's a lot of work. Because everything has to work with multiplayer, otherwise the game will be broken, so. It's cool, though. I think if I were to do another multiplayer game, I wouldn't do anything the scale of Starground, because this was just enormous, right? I would definitely do, like, something very simple in concept. I don't know, something like, honestly, something where things don't, like, change around too much. Multiplayer would, yeah, right, like, just something very simple. Multiplayer would probably be pretty easy if you're doing something like a, even an FPS multiplayer would be kind of easy. Because the thing with that is the map doesn't change, right? Anything with a static map is very easy. So any kind of game where it's just kind of recording player input is, yeah, not that hard. But this is, the problem with Starground multiplayer is that I have to sync inventories, and I have to sync, like, positions of the buildings, and when tiles are placed down and removed, there's a million things that I have to keep track of, and that's why it gets so difficult and complicated with everything. Part of that probably just comes down to my own inexperience and knowing, like, how to do it better, right? But it does get really complicated for this kind of game. Part of me almost wishes Starground was not multiplayer. It was just a single player thing, but I think it's the only way I could have made this game work, because I think it wouldn't have been competitive enough if it wasn't multiplayer, so I don't know. It's tricky. But it's good though, because like I've gone through the trials and tribulations of multiplayer. I feel like the next game that I do that's multiplayer would be way easier. Because I just know what I'm doing now, you know? So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't regret it. It was definitely a challenge, though, that's for sure. And I think part of the other thing, too, is multiplayer with Godot isn't really very well documented. I mean, there is, like, info on it, of course, and stuff, but a lot of it is kind of mysterious. It was very hard to find resources and stuff for multiplayer when I first started out. Yeah, sorry, I think I missed some messages in here. There's so many good games that stay on itch for a reason, because others just don't want to have more players. Yeah, staying on itch is limiting yourself. It can be, yeah, right. Because Steam is just such a enormous platform, and I mean, there's like billions of people on Steam. Not billions, but I think there's like almost a billion or something. It's like 700 million people. It's a lot of people, guys. So... how much of my audience am I cutting off? I don't include controller support. For me, for my game, it's really designed for keyboard and mouse, but yeah. Starground initially was designed for just keyboard and mouse, you know, when I started out. And honestly, adding controller with Godot isn't that hard for, like, basic controller stuff. It does get kind of complicated when you want to add in more quality of life, right? But... it's hard to exactly quantify the specific number of people that you exclude, but I think having controller support is definitely always a great thing for people, right? Because what it also means is that if you have controller support, your game, it works for Steam Deck, right? And that's now becoming a much larger category of people. In the past, maybe it wasn't as important, but... there's a lot more of those kind of mobile handheld devices now. I mean, even if you really just think about it, like the Switch and stuff too. Of course, adding your game to Switch is a whole thing, but you know, but I don't know. It's I would say if it's like try it out and see how the process kind of goes with controller. Because it is definitely a good idea to have controller support. Is it gonna like make a significant impact on the number of people that buy your game? That's kind of hard to say, right? Because a lot of the stuff with game development is like you have like estimates for this stuff, but a lot of the times there's data that you don't have an exact correlation to, and you don't know really whether it's that thing that you added or what, or if it's just some random thing or someone. You know, it's hard to tell, but I don't know. I would say it's worth it, though. I am glad that I added controller, because it really just lets a lot more people play the game. Also, people that are handicapped and stuff like that and can't play games normally, controller support is absolutely necessary for them, because they can map controller keys easier, and it's a lot better. Clearly I've never played Arsenic Siege, yeah. According to Steam, around 20%, okay. Yeah, I mean, 20% is a pretty big chunk, so I'd say it's probably worth it. But again, it's always just a trade-off, because it's not this, especially if you're just like a solo developer. It's easy to just say add controller support, but adding controller support means taking time away from working on other parts of the game. So it's not always like a super easy answer. It just depends on the game, right? If you have a game that's going to be basically impossible to add controller support, like something that would be really hard is like a city builder or something, where it's like super precise stuff that you kind of really need a mouse for, it might not be worth it to add controller support. But if it's just some kind of more arcadey game or something that works better with controller, I would definitely say add it. It just depends. You have to kind of think about who are the kind of people that are going to be playing your game. If you can't ever really foresee a controller player trying your game with controller, then I just wouldn't even bother. For Starground, I feel like it was important because I did want it on Steam Deck. And I could see playing this kind of game with controller, you know. So yeah. I think this position for the trading terminal is fine. Let's add a script. It's going to extend buildable. I'm going to add a inventory component. Actually, this doesn't have to be a building necessarily. Does it need to be? I guess I'll make it a building. It doesn't really need to be, but let's see, inventory component. Okay. Also, sorry, I missed that. Question of players excluded based on game design could be scaled almost infinitely. There's so many different configurations that a player's system could have. Yeah, for sure, yeah. It'd be like playing MapleStory with a controller. I don't know if I've heard of MapleStory. It's an MMO. Okay. I could see having controller probably for a game like this. It just depends on how many UIs you have to navigate through. Because UI stuff with controller is always kind of difficult, especially precise stuff. But there's always ways that you can get around it and like think of ways to do it better, right? But I could definitely see controller support for something like that. Any plans for the next game? Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been thinking about it. Not that Starground's done or even kind of close to being done, but it is something that we'll have to head into eventually, right? There's some ideas kind of being thrown around. We've had a couple of just... Well, we had like one official kind of meeting about it. And then, just kind of bringing up random ideas every once in a while. I do have some ideas of my own that I've been just kind of writing out and thinking of, but... It's hard to say exactly what is next, because we don't know. But I think there's some general trends or general kind of things we want to aim for. I think the next game is not going to be multiplayer, because multiplayer takes so much time, and it's cool, but I think you can make a good game without it having to be multiplayer. And multiplayer, although it's kind of scary, is something that you could add in later. Adding multiplayer later is kind of hard, if I'm being honest. But yeah, something preferably without multiplayer. Probably, I don't even know if the next game will be pixel art or not, if I'm being honest. It might be, might not be. Who knows? We had one idea for, it's like a cat card game, right? So kind of think of like a Hearthstone or something like that. So something like that could be kind of fun. And if that was going to be like online multiplayer, it would be really easy because it's just, you know, there's no like data that I have to sync really. It's just like an RPC call and I have to say, this card has been played. Do an animation, right? It's easy. So that would not be that hard. I think we brought up some other ideas. Like one was like I don't know like the genre. I'm just not really familiar with it. But like the, you know, like Castle Crashers is kind of the side-scrolling kind of fighting game, I guess. I don't know what you call that. I know there's a word for it, like the genre. Yeah, beat 'em up. That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. I couldn't remember. But yeah. Dylan came up with that idea. I don't know, there's just a lot of random ideas right now, but it's hard to say exactly what we're going to be doing next. And we'll definitely be thinking about that more sort of as the time comes, I think, but we're not really there yet. Starground still has a lot of work to go, so... But eventually we'll get there. Oh, this is offset weird. Ooh. Is my sprite an odd number? No, it's even. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Like, this physics shape is just... Is it the height? No, I don't know. Whatever, I'll just fix it. The shadow has to move up. Looks like it's floating in the sky right now. But we'll let you all know when it's time for the next game, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't know. I think we're just still kind of trying to like, we've had ideas and stuff, and they're definitely interesting ideas, but I don't think any of us are like, that's the one, you know? I feel like we're just not quite there yet. I think we need to keep messing around and thinking of things until we find exactly what we want. This is not a shop. Yeah, we're gonna have to do our own custom UI for this building, which is fine. Really, this won't actually do anything with the building itself, I guess. This will just all be in the UI. So we're not going to do the shop display. We're actually going to make a new one. This will be display trading terminal. We'll go copy that. We've thought about expanding the team. I've definitely thought about it, like especially getting like another programmer and stuff, but it kind of always cycles back to the same issue, which is that we can't afford it to actually like pay somebody, because the problem is that I can barely pay myself with Starground, right? Not to mention all of the other people already on the team, so I just wouldn't be able to afford paying anybody else. It's tricky. Yeah, and it also just gets kind of complicated too with like taxes and stuff. It works best as like basically hiring people on as contractors. Because, you know, then it's kind of like you're not locked into this thing where they are your employee. It's like, I would like this, and then they do it and they get paid, and you can think of it as like freelancing essentially, right? I mean, that's sort of what it is in a way. But it makes my taxes way easier. I just can't afford it, you know? I would love to have a bunch of programmers and artists and make it easier, because it is really hard being stretched so thin on stuff like this. Because I do all the programming and all the art and all the everything, right? And so there's a lot of times when I really wish that someone else could help with that kind of stuff. But yeah, we just don't have anybody that can do it, right? Dylan can draw, but Dylan doesn't really do like pixel art, and so that's kind of the problem with that. I don't know. Yeah. I'm always open for interesting projects. Part-time, of course. Godot's new territory for me. Rather worked with custom engines or Unity. Yeah. Use custom engines at your work right now? Okay. Honestly, Godot's pretty easy to learn. I think the biggest thing, if I were to hire somebody, is not their experience level, but just how their motivation level, really, right? That's the thing that matters. Because anybody can learn Godot and anyone can learn Python, but the thing that you can't really teach is like the drive to want to make a game, right? Because I'm very driven to develop, right? I have like discipline when it comes to, at least I like to think so, right? Where it's very like, what is all this? Wait, shop controller. Oh, did I do the wrong? Oh, I have it listed wrong. Let's go into here, and it's because it's the wrong building. Or display, you know. Let's snooze that ad. It's really early in development, so it's almost like working bare bones. Okay, interesting. But yeah, the biggest thing I would be looking for, right, is just like somebody that, like, I really don't care about experience level and stuff. I mean, of course it's great if they know how to program and draw. I mean, that is really important, but those things can be taught, right? So it would be best just for somebody that just really, really wants to do it. I don't know. You know, easy to say that, though. Actually finding people like that is a whole nother thing. But yeah, I don't know. And also part of it, too, is the endurance of it, right? Because game development is not a sprint unless you're doing a game jam. It's very time-consuming. There's whole days where you might just be working on one thing, right? One bug or one problem or one feature, and that's like your whole day. So yeah, and that's the other thing too, right? It's like it's kind of a nebulous thing, which is why it's really tricky. So I don't know. It's hard, right? Because the thing that I really have to avoid with, like, if someone else was gonna help is like the classic thing of like, oh yeah, I'll help out, and then randomly a week later they're like, sorry, I'm busy with other stuff, I can't help anymore. Because the problem is that you plan out these projects and ideas keeping in mind like the amount of workforce that you have, right? So you go into it thinking, I have 2 programmers, then you can scale things to the level that 2 programmers can do. But then if one person leaves in the middle, well then now you're screwed because you have this massive project on your plate that you can't really do by yourself. So that's kind of the scary part too about getting other people to help, right? Because I've felt that a lot, especially doing like game jams and stuff, and like just, yeah, it really sucks. Because it's always, it's easy to like promise at the beginning and say, oh, I'm gonna help a bunch and I can't wait to get started on this, and I got all this time, I'm free on these days, and then when you actually get started on it, the first problem comes your way or first non-fun thing, and then everybody's gone. Right? So it's really frustrating. It's all about just your ability to push through those times, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. You know, once you get through that nasty bug or issue with your inventory system, then you can move on to all the fun, epic things, right? So it's the discipline to keep that in mind, to keep moving forward with it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day. It'd have to be the right person. So hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And yeah, they would have to be okay with not being paid. Right? Which, obviously that's stupid. And I want to pay people. But for going into a brand new project, it's just, I wouldn't be able to afford it. For the hours that's required to, like, get a project kind of jump-started, right? Because you have to spend a long time. In the early stages of it, there's so many systems to set up, and so you can't just, like... You can't really do that part-time, otherwise it's never gonna get done, right? You gotta kind of stay in the groove, I feel like. Otherwise you'll, like, forget what's going on, and then it just becomes a whole thing, so... I'm gonna change the sprite just a little bit. Okay, that looks good. Now it's gonna be all ruined in the space hub. Come on. Just a years-long game jam? It basically is, right? I mean, that's what it is. And you've got to be excited the whole way through, or not necessarily excited to work, but willing to, right? You're so right. I especially have that issue with friends. They'll be so excited to start making a game, and we get going, and a week later it slows down drastically, and it sucks because they're your friends. I know that's always the struggle, right? Because it's like you want these people to work with you and help. Because they're your friends, right? And it's, no offense, Ace, if you're in chat, but, you know. So it's always hard to be, like, you know, disappointed with them about it, right? I don't know. It's a really difficult thing. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Because the thing is friends will always want to help, just because they're your friends and they want to hang out and chill, right? But it's not always just a hang out and chill time, which is the issue, because you've got to work. It's a job. It's not always going to be just a fun little hobby, especially if you're just trying to be serious about it. If I had $1 million and could just spend all day doing whatever, I would just do it for fun, but I can't if I'm trying to make it a job, right? So, I don't know. But yeah, it's hard. Also, we have ads. My apologies. Let's wait for those to go through. Let's see. So with this trading terminal, I do need the player inventory to be visible. Also, hey, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Let's see. Actually, that's back in the Space Hub. In the inventory component. Show player inventory. Alright, we're good. So we're gonna have to figure out how we want the shop to be kind of laid out. It's not gonna be called shop, it's gonna be called the trading terminal. Maybe one day you can even build one of these on Viridian or wherever you want, but for now it's gonna stay in the Space Hub. Let's see, we've got the blur in the background. There's a lot of bits in here. Purchase amount, the purchase button. I'm gonna have to definitely like look at the shop for how all this works, right? I don't think it's that complicated, honestly. It's just like this is populating with the list of items, which maybe we'll do somewhere else, like a loot table. And then we just say purchase, and yeah, it's pretty easy. Okay, ads are over. My apologies. I cannot stop them. So, this is the shop script. We're probably going to want something pretty similar to this. I mean, I'm just kind of debating. I don't know if I want to just have like a little tick box to swap a shop into a selling shop, right? And have it be the same thing. Because maybe that's better. But there's also a lot of things that I want to involve in the trading terminal that's going to get tricky with this, right? So I'm probably just going to make a new version of this because it'll get really complicated if I don't, I think. This will be trading terminal controller, something. All right. I like the, also, sorry, let's see. Louis, heading to sleep now. My eyes hurt. Good luck and see ya. Sounds good. Thanks so much for popping in the stream. Hope your eyes feel better. Have a good sleep. But yeah, I listened to the new track. It's epic. I very do much like it. I like the vibe that all the music in the Space Hub's kind of got. It's a chill time in there, you know? Which I think makes sense, because it's like a mall, you know? So it's gonna have like just kind of background music, which is good. Yeah, it's epic. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I downloaded it. I didn't put it into the game yet, but I'll do that in a minute. Shotgun my market delay. What's up, Dylan? How's it going? Ooh, chilling. Nice. Epic. Okay, so this button needs to be changed into sell. Sell, sell, sell. I really gotta think of how I'm gonna kind of lay all this out, because there's a lot of things that I need to keep track of. So like, here, let's use the doodle board. Because we're gonna need like a list of the items that are on sale, that are on market, right? So that's the first thing. And I might also like make it so that there's only a certain amount of items maybe on sale every given whatever. Like maybe we'll have like a stock market refresh every 10 minutes or something. Or maybe that's even something that you can actually change in the options for your world. But maybe we just have a list of a certain number of items, so it's like it's going to be like this probably, which is what I'm thinking. Because there's a lot of info we have to display here. For each item, we need to show the item, but then also the cost and the current like rate. Right, so that's going to be like, maybe it's -50 on a given day, so it's really cheap. So bad time to sell. You want to sell when the price is high. But yeah. And then on the right panel, that's got to have some more info. Right, because we've got to have... It'll be pretty similar to what we have now, but we'll have a sell button, how many items you're going to sell. And we need to show, like, how much money you're going to get for it, right? So we're going to have the name, how much money you receive, right? Description of the item. So it's going to be a pretty similar layout, but it'll be something like this, I think. So let's just get working away at this. So cost box, that's all fine. We don't have to worry about any of that. I actually know a way better way to format this now with the translations, so I should do that. Okay, so we have this grid of items. I'm going to change this into a list, right? So this is going to be a VBox now. So in here, this is a new script. This is the trading terminal script. So let's see here. Purchase sound, all that. That's all fine, honestly. So populate is where we create all the buy buttons. Those are fine, but I'm probably going to make a new version of it that's a sell button, right? Or something. We'll figure it out. So let's just go see what this looks like right now. If I go to the trading terminal, I'm going to say, what do we need to get from the building? Purchase sounds and populate. This is called data, so let's do that. So data, it's going to be the same as how we have it in all the other shops. So like the fisherman shop, it's going to be like this. Now that extends shop, but we don't have to do that. We'll just set it. Right, so it'll be something like this. And these will be the things that get sold. And I guess also their prices. I'm probably going to change this into a table at some point, but this is just kind of to get the mechanics working first. Man, we're only at 2 hours. It feels later than that. Maybe because it's, I started so late. We're only at 2 hours? That doesn't feel right. I guess that is. So we want to do like stone. Wood. I don't know. We'll figure out what items are in here, but this is just to test things, right? And iron ore. Sure. And I'll set that like really high or something. I don't know. Well, this will be changed. So then the whole idea here is, so this is the price. So how I'm going to do it is that if your price gets too small. So say that you are selling wood. It's a terrible log. And it typically sells for 1. Let's say the price is down 50%, right? Then that means instead of it just being 1 wood for 1, it's going to be 2 wood for 1, right? Whoa, that was incredible. So that's like how that's gonna be. So it's really similar to like the villager trading in Minecraft, right? Where like basically you have these, it's like both sides can be, it doesn't have to have one side that's 1. What is this crap? But you can kind of see where it's like 6 for 1 emerald or 1 for 4 pies. Like it just kind of can be whatever number works. And so that's the plan for how this is going to work, right? So implementing that might be a little tricky. We'll have to see. I may even do arrows just to kind of indicate the flow of like what is being converted here, right? Because it might be confusing if we just have 2 wood and coin, because it's like, is it 1 coin for 2 wood? You know, it makes sense to left to right word readers, but for people that read right to left, it might be really confusing. So I think having an arrow in here to kind of indicate direction is pretty important. So something like that could work. Yeah, well, we got the data here. Let's go ahead and load it up and just see what's going on in here. Maybe I want to make sure the UI looks okay. It doesn't crash. We'll just keep kind of slowly working away at this. So we're going to have to keep track of all this data, right? Which is kind of a little tricky. I also want to prevent, like, is it called save scunging? I feel like that's save scumming. That's what I'm thinking of. It's where, like, I don't want people to save and then reload and then the shop refreshes with different prices. So I do want to save the current state of the stock market, right? So let's go to the Space Hub, yeah. Okay, so it did crash. Oh, it's because we don't have the item grid. So that's going to be items. Looks like we lost everything in here. Oh, is that a grid? It shouldn't be. Where is it? Oh. Items grid should be now a V-Box container. Let's try that again. Purchase sound. Purchase sound right there. Name label right there. Cost label. I don't know which one that's supposed to be. I think it's this one. I think it's the one with the number. And then description label, which really should be a rich text box. I don't know why it's like regular label. It's not happy. Let's restart the game. Okay. Once this doesn't crash, then we can start changing the UI a bit. Add the new button type. This is the long button. Then start simulating the economy. Just to start, we'll make sure that the selling and buying mechanics work with like the different amounts and stuff. So if I say cost is 0.5, then that means it'll actually just be 1 coin for 2 items, right? So it's going to be that kind of ratio. Okay, so that is working. So yeah, it's just going to be a list like this that you scroll through. I think it's going to be better that way. Just because we need to display more info than the other regular shops. Because all you need to know here is that is the cost, buy it or not. But here it's like you need to know the cost and the current exchange rate and all that business, right? Because you need to know if the economy has crashed for that item, and so you don't want to sell a bunch. And we also need to display how many of these, of the items, right? So it gets a little complicated. All right, so let's go modify this. I think I can actually... No, it's going to be a new scene, so I got to reload. So this isn't going to be buy button. We're going to go find the buy button. Item buy button. Duplicate it. Item sell button. Okay. So here's our sell button. So it's going to be a button. Inside the button, we're going to have a couple things. So we need to put a margin container inside of the button. Oh, we already do. It's right here. And we have an H box already. Okay. So I'm actually going to clear out this icon and add a texture rect here. So this will be the texture of our item. Let's just put biofuel in there or something temporarily. This will be keep aspect centered. Hbox, go ahead and just let's see, this is okay. So this should expand. Fill. And then this icon, this should also expand. This should probably expand, and same with the number. Actually, that doesn't need to expand because that's the last thing. Okay, so on this margin, we need to make the left and right margins better, at least like 6. Kind of like that. So this one, we're going to say fit width. What do I have for this one? Keep size. Which doesn't make any sense. Oh, keep aspect centered. Okay. And then in between these, I'm going to add another texture rect, and this will be a arrow. So let's draw it really quick. So this one will probably do like 16 or maybe 12 by 12, because that's what most of these items are going to be in here. And just draw a freaking arrow. And I'm going to make it the same color as like the dark parts in here. This is not the same. That one's 5, that one's 4. Okay, so this is going to be trading icon, trading terminal arrow. Gotta wait for it to load in. Go, 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 hurry, hurry. Okay. Let's see, icon, trading terminal arrow. Boom. This will be keep aspect centered. Don't know why it's so tiny. Does this have like a weird expand? No, it's not on expand, that's why. I think it could be a little thinner. It's kind of fat. Something more like that, I think, would be better. So basically this will just show the ratio, right? So like this label I'm actually just going to put as sort of like how we have it on the items, where this is just on the bottom right. So for layout, I'm just going to say bottom right. Minimum size. Don't really need a minimum size. So this is like a bigger number. Yeah, so that'll work. It'll just show the number in the bottom right. And then same for this. So this one's going to be item, arrow, coin. So item, go ahead and give it a label. So this will show the quantity to quantity, right? So 1 to 1, or maybe it's bigger or smaller, or whatever. We'll figure that out. Now this whole thing should be way wider. This shouldn't actually have any minimum size, and we should just say expand on the width. So hopefully that'll work. I don't think the size of this button needs to be so enormous. I think I could make that 32, especially since this is like a longer thing now. So I may make it so that these don't actually... Let's see. We'll figure it out. I don't know. We're going to have to mess around with this until it looks right. let's go load it up in game and just see how this button is kind of formatted in here. So we are going to have a table for all of the things that you can sell in the stock market. I think what we're going to have is a base price, right? And we're going to have like the base price for one of the items, right? Essentially is what we're doing. Okay. Let's go check it out. Don't crash. Dang it. Yeah, it's gonna crash because there's a bunch of things in here that I don't have set right. So, cost is gonna be weird. We're gonna have to figure this out because it's like... So what I have in here is the cost, description, all that stuff. Cost won't actually be that. Because cost is going to be something that changes, right? Because we have item data. So we're going to say, right, that dot texture is equal to item data dot sprite. Now the name is fine. We keep that. But now this one, I'm just going to hide that for now because we're going to have this info stored somewhere. So yeah. So hey, Bearlick Lion, how's it going? How's it going? Yeah. It's going pretty good. And we crashed, yeah. I am working on a trading terminal right now. So the whole idea is that each item will have a kind of base price and then the market will fluctuate a little bit. So there may be times when you crash the economy, right? Because you sold too much of one item. Which is good, because I want the item selling in Starground to feel fair. If you get a bunch of fish, like you don't get fish in such large quantities, so it's easier to sell it, and it's you get more money than like mass producing 1,000 wood and getting $1 billion, right? So this is sort of what we have right now. It's getting there. It still needs some work, but it's basically going to be a list of all of the items that you can sell and how much you get for each one. So really similar to like the shop, honestly. It's practically the same thing. Oh, this is the wrong script. Whoopsies. I'm just gonna copy all that and undo everything I did. Okay. Restart. But yeah, it should be good. Because if wood is normally like 1 coin or whatever, and then if you sell 1,000 wood, it will sell for way less. And the exact like function for how the price will drop off is something that we'll have to work on, right? But yeah. And then over time, it'll just kind of slowly tick back up to its base value. You know, so things do eventually return to normal, but they take a while. But it's just to encourage people from hyper-specializing in one item, because it's not what the game's all about. People should try and get different items. Alright, let me make sure that the... yeah, he's good. Okay. So the width of this, we need to make it like a defined thing now that the buttons are weird. So let's just make this like... I don't know, how big do I want this to be? Not like too enormous. I mean, it doesn't have to be crazy. We'll just go like 384. Feels good. Do I use Copilot? I do not use Copilot. I don't use any AI for any of this stuff. Okay, that looks good. Now the buttons aren't expanding. It's probably just because this list isn't expanding. Yeah. So make that expand. Now it has modified our things. We'll have to fix that. So in our sell button, let's go ahead and make this item not expand anymore. But let's just set it to like a minimum size. So maybe 32 by 32 or something. And same with this coin. 32 by 32. Same with the arrow. Right? But we won't expand them anymore. For the H box, let's just say, yeah, begin is good. Do not expand. Okay, so this size might be a little bit too big. Maybe 24 by 24. Let's try that. So this is what we're looking like. That's a little better. Because the whole idea is that the item and the amount will be over here, and then on the right it'll have a percentage of where the current market is like for that item, right? So it's just easy at a glance. You can look through and scan through the menu and be like, oh yeah, this item is super expensive right now. Let's sell a bunch. So that's funny that it's changing the big label. That's not supposed to happen. I gotta fix that. What code editor do I use? I use Godot, and the built-in script editor in Godot. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done, and I think it's fine. So that's what I've been using. I do like VS Code and stuff better, but I don't know. It's just getting that to kind of work exactly right with GDScript is kind of tricky. So I just haven't bothered. So this seems to be in the wrong position. I guess it's just how that is. Well, I kind of wish it was lower then. Okay, what if we did full rect, and then horizontal is right, and vertical is bottom? I mean, I guess that's what we want to do. I find it odd, though, that the text is like... Maybe we set the vertical height on these to be a little larger. There we go. To be forced to 32. So that the numbers stay sort of in the bottom right. There we go. Okay. So that's looking good. Then let's add another label in here. So this is where we'll do our spacers. So we're going to paste a sibling, and then we're going to add a separator, a vertical separator for this label. If I can get it right. There we go. And we're just going to set modulate on this to be invisible. And this is going to be like our percentage, right? So like minus 50% or whatever. And let's just increase the size of this button because it's being annoying. Okay. Now for this text, I'll probably do header medium because it's just going to be anywhere from, I don't know, maybe we'll have like some extreme stock market crashes where it's like minus 50,000, but even then it'll be fine. So then what we're going to say on this V separator is this one will be on... For layout and container sizing, that one will expand, and this one will just stay where it is. So we will be good to go right there. This one should not expand. Yeah. Cool. So in game, it'll look like this. Hold on, I have to save it. And probably get back into it. There we go. So that's kind of what it shows in game now. Also, it seems that our menu got smaller somehow. I don't know how that works. That's kind of odd. There we go. So now it shows the exchange rate of each item on the right, which is good. Our arrow is kind of hard to see, so I'm going to outline it and make it a little brighter. And let's actually do this. I'm going to shift it back. Boom. Okay, then let's just go to, like, that color. So let's see what that looks like in here. And also for label, I'm going to just call this trading terminal so I don't get confused. And for our... it's not going to be that anymore. It's going to be this one with a name label. Okay. Let's restart this and open it back up. So we're getting there. And then we just have to change the button to say, instead of purchase, it's sell. So yeah, this should work out, hopefully. And we'll just make it so the sell box is grayed out. Or maybe we can actually snap it to how many items you have to sell. I think there is an option for that. Like in this, I think we can set a step value, yeah. So we could say the step value is 16, right? So for our value, it's like when we're changing it, it'll always be in terms of units of 16. Right, so we click on one of our things. It's weird that we can't click there. It's probably because our V separator is on a stupid mouse mode. Mouse ignore. There you go. So, see, now it should be in... Doesn't seem to be... It should be snapping to units of... Oh, I didn't save it. Hey, Ryan, how's it going? Okay, that doesn't seem to be working. Because I have purchase amount set to 16 for the step, but it doesn't seem to matter. It kind of does. See, it goes up by a whole thing. Minimum value will be 0, I guess. The maximum value doesn't have to be 99. Because now this is selling instead of buying. So I could actually change that to anything I want. 2048, sure. There we go. So we can snap this step to whatever amount that we need to, right? So if it's 16 items for 1 coin, then we can just say snap it to 16. So yeah. Did I say hi yet? Can't remember. That's what happens when I'm hyper focused on trying to do stuff. What's up, Ryan? How's it going? For our sell button, I'm gonna go ahead and add a couple little separators in between here, in between the arrow. But I'm not going to set this one to expand. I'm just going to set a small minimum value of like 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4. Just so that they're not right smushed up to each other. I should restart when I go in here. There we go. Okay, we're out of snooze credits, unfortunately, gamers. I am sorry. Okay, so now our snapping is working. Right, so it's being locked to 16 items. Which is good. With this new system, I'm probably going to increase the stack size for coins in your inventory. Because it can start to be a little tricky if you don't have enough space for coins. Okay, so let's see here. What is next? So let's just get the actual selling working. Let's go back to the here. So on here, whenever we hit sell, I'm gonna change this to be sell. disconnect pressed. Right, on sell pressed. So this will not be purchased, this will now be sell. We're going to change that to sell.rpcid. So we're going to do a couple things. So we're selling the item ID that we've selected, the amount that we're selling, and we're not going to pass in cost because that's something that's determined by the exchange rate. So we'll probably leave that one out. Right, because the cost will be automatically determined. Okay. Sold item is that. Actually, we don't have to do that. Or we don't do any of that. So kind of how exactly we're doing this, where we're just removing the coins. We're removing our item ID now. So we don't have new cost anymore. So if it's greater than the amount, greater than or equal... Do I have this in process where I'm checking? Yeah. And I actually won't do this stuff anymore. We will hold off on all of that until we figure out what we need for that. Populate's still good, so that's fine. Alright, so we're going to say if get count item ID is greater than or equal or to or amount, then result is check item. Oh, that's if like our if we can put the items in. So we'll do that, but let's first off just make this simple. So we're just going to remove item ID with the amount. Boom. Now we're going to do the inverse, where we're going to add an item into our inventory. So that will be pretty simple. We're just going to say player inv.add item, right? Now we're going to have to figure this out based off how many items we have. So hey, Godot Gamedev, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Because if we're supposed to get like 1,000 coins back from this, then we have to say, you know, if say that the stack size is 999 and we're getting 2,000 coins from a sale, then that means we have to say 2,000 divided by 999 or whatever, mod 999, so that we get the amount for the next stack. But for now, we will just say Starground coin and amount 99. So hopefully this works. Or amount will just be amount, because it's just basically right now everything's stuck at a 1-to-1 ratio, but we will change that. Alright, so let's see how this looks, how it works. So if I say buy 16 items, I have 16 stone. And I hit sell. Nothing happened. Probably because I had to reopen the menu. Okay. So invalid add item. Oh, yeah, duh. I'm not doing this. I need to say, mod API.create item dictionary with Starground coin and the amount. So, bargoins. Oh, it did it. I don't know why, oh. It's called sell now. Okay, so it did work. We lost our items, as you can see. But let's try it again. And we also didn't get our coins because it couldn't fit. So we do have to check and make sure that if we're actually going to do that, we can insert all the coins into our inventory. So let's just give Snow 99. Commands are not enabled, of course. Why would I think they are? Okay. So we can go ahead and say like 16, sell them. Oops, I forgot to actually add the item. Boom, boom. See, we're getting coins for selling our stone. Now this is the situation where this doesn't make any sense. We're selling 16 items, but we only have 4 stone in our inventory, so we can't do that. Okay. But we're getting there. But I appreciate it, yeah. It's pretty cool what you can do with just a couple particles and a sound. Right? Makes things feel so much better. I mean, even just stuff like fishing with all the little splashes and sounds, it's way more satisfying. Alright, well, we're getting there. Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Thanks to the moon, yeah. Alright, so what's next? We have... I mean, it technically is working. Like, if I have a bunch of stone, I can sell it in batches and get my money's worth. So we have to check and see if we actually have that number of item in our inventory, because, well, if we don't, that's kind of stupid. So we have to check, like, the actively selected item. I don't know if we have a thing for that. Yeah, we do. It's just item ID. So we're just going to say if item ID, make sure that it's actually valid. Otherwise, this thing will be disabled. Disabled is true. And then in here, we're going to say... This is where we're going to check like all the stuff if we can do it. So we're getting the player item count, and that's getting the count of how many items we have of that item, right? And just get rid of that variable. So if player item count is greater than or equal to our selected amount, which is item amount, then we're going to say, yeah, right here. Okay, yeah. That's where we can actually do our stuff. So we'll say disabled is false so that we can purchase again. So this will only let us buy stuff if we actually have the items in our inventory. As you can see, we don't have any iron ore, so we can't sell them. And we don't have enough stone, so we can't sell that either. Now, we can sell 0, which is bad. I have to basically just make sure and item amount is greater than or equal to 0. So that it doesn't try and sell when we have nothing in our inventory. Right. Reopen it. Why is it still doing it? And it's selling 1 item? Weird. What's going on? Oh, it's because we don't have... What we're gonna have to do is this. That should fix it. That is weird, though. It shows obviously 0 items, but we can sell it for some reason. So I'm gonna print out what Oh, it's not item amount. That's the issue. It's how many items we want to sell, right? Because it's down in here. Right, where we do sell. It is item amount. Doesn't seem to make any sense. I'm gonna print item amount. Because it clearly shows 0 in here. So why is it 1? The minimum is 0. Step is 16. Maybe we have to round it? That doesn't do anything. I'm not clamping the value or anything. That's a little weird, guys. Set active item. So just because item amount defaults to 1. So it never got set to anything else other than whatever it is. Yeah, that's probably what it is. But it still shows 0, and for some reason I can sell, so... Oh, well I can't? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, look, because I click sell. It's like visible, but it's not disabled. This is weird. Oh, I'm stupid. I said greater than or equal to. Okay. That would be why. So now if we have the stone and we sell 16, yeah, it should work. Also, this saying disabled true every single frame breaks everything, I believe. So let's just do that. And then as soon as we don't have 16 of those items, then we're done, yeah. Alright, so that's a good step. Let's keep working away at it. So, what else do we have to do? We're gonna have to grab the actual values. I think we need to create our data table for this stuff because now we're kind of at that spot. So where do I want to do that in? I could do it in a loot table. It technically is a loot table, but kind of not. I mean, I guess actually it is a loot table because maybe there's some items that are very rare to sell or something, right? I don't know. I think I would like it to just be pure random, though. Well, it's either we make another table or just use the loot table. I think we just use the loot table. Because this isn't like a whole mechanic. This is just like a sub thing. So Starground loot, trading terminal, and this is just going to be a list of all the things that we want to sell in here, right? I'll probably keep the rarity for everything equal. So there's going to be like Starground stone, Starground wood, Starground, what else? What else do we want in here? Starground iron ingot, copper ingot, Starground coal, and probably like food items. You know, we'll have like Starground apple and all that stuff, but we'll mess around with that. So what we need to have in here is a couple different things. This is gonna have the base price of each thing, right? So like, what is the initial relation between item to coin, right? So if we make this a fraction, like say that it's 0.1, then that means it's going to be 10 items divided by point. Let's see. How would we do this? So cost is 1. We say divided by 0.1. Yeah. So we'll end up with 10. So that's how many items we need to sell in order to get 1 coin, right? So that's how I'm going to represent those kinds of things. And some things will be the inverse, like really expensive things, right? So maybe like, I don't know, what's like a really expensive item? Like a motor would be worth like 5 or 10 coins, right? Because they're way harder to make. So, like wood and stuff and stone will be pretty dirt cheap. Probably like 0.2, so it'll be 8 to 1. Iron will probably be a little less cheap. Maybe give it like a 0.4. Coal will be like kind of around the same level. And apples are pretty cheap because, you know, you can get a lot of apples if you grow them. So I think that's the only info we need here. Just for the loot table. We will have like an active list though of every item and its current stock value, right? So we do need to do that. So I'm probably going to get it set up so that the world every so often will kind of refresh the stock market and reset it. We also have to save the time left, like the time remaining on the stock market refresh. So there's a lot of things we're going to have to keep track of here, but it should be good. So does this already have a scroll container? It does, good. So, let's just get working on this. So, multiplayer setup. We are going to remember the stock market. So, just add a couple of different variables in here. This can be stock market. So, first off, it's going to be var stock interval. All right, will be like 600 seconds, which is like 10 minutes, I think, or something. And then var current stock market. Now this is going to be a dictionary filled with different items. So it's essentially going to have a couple things. So every item is going to start off like this. This is how we're going to handle this. If we open up our doodle board. So we're going to have an item ID, right? So Starground wood, right? And the key for each ID is going to be its current value in the stock market. So I might actually have two values. The first one is going to be natural fluctuation. So it's going to be like on any given day, or at any given time, really, it's just going to be a random value. So maybe it's minus 50, right? Or maybe it's positive 50. Or somewhere in between. Maybe it's a very small difference, 0.1 or something, right? So it'll have that value. So this will be an array of value. Or, well, really, it'll be a dictionary, I think. Just in case we want to add more values. So whatever, like 50. And then this will be like a value that holds the how oversaturated the item is, right? So by default, it's going to be 1, which just means that saturation is completely normal and there basically hasn't been any items sold. And then depending on how this value changes will determine the oversatisfaction price. So let's say that we have sold 1,000 wood. We'll figure out some kind of math formula for that. Maybe it's like 1 divided by 1,000 or something. And then we multiply the price by this, right? So if price is normally for wood 0.5, we say times 0.001. And so that's the new multiplying offset cost. So that's the true cost for wood. Right. So then that means in order to... how much wood would you have to sell, right? It had to be 0.5 divided by 0.0005 or whatever. So you'd have to sell 1,000 wood to get 1 coin. Yeah. So that's sort of how we're going to do it, I think. Or maybe this is literally just keeping track of the number of items sold. Right? So maybe instead of having to make it a decimal, it's just going to be an integer, which is easier to handle. So, and smaller data. Because this is the thing, this is going to have to sync with multiplayer, so I'm trying to keep the data small. So that'll just be 0 items to start with. And it'll just kind of go up to whatever value. So like maybe it's If we sold 50, then we have some kind of other multiplier. And each item will kind of have a different rate at which the price decreases, right? So maybe our wood drops off really quick or something else is more of a reliable source of income. So that's how that's going to work. So let's add that in. So this is every time that the stock market will be reset and changed, right? And this value will be just a consistent value. You can think of it as like the new day beginning or something. We could literally link this up to the day cycle, and that would be fine, honestly. But yeah, we'll see. Okay. So we need a function to reset the stock market. So reset stock market. This is basically going to say current stock market is set back to nothing. And we'll add like a consistent number of items. So for I and 10 or something. Actually, what I'm going to do is this. Var items is going to be global.loot_table.get Starground loot trading terminal. Right. Now this isn't necessarily stocks. This is like the trading market, but it's whatever. These variables don't matter. So that's going to get a list of all those. I'm actually going to say duplicate true because we're going to have to take items off. So for I in range items.size, we'll say items. Like we need pick random or something, right? Yeah, this is an array. Now, I think we can actually pop it. Items dot... Here, let's make sure this is an array. Can I say items dot erase and then the value? Yeah. So we'll just do that. Godot, stop it. Okay. Var chosen item is that. Then we're going to say items.erase chosen item. So it means that we won't get duplicate items because that would be stupid if we did. And now what we're going to say is current stock, oops. Current stock market at the index of our chosen item. So it's going to be chosen item at index 1. We're going to say it's equal to a dictionary with a couple keys. So first key will just be something simple. It's going to be let's see, variance, right, or something. And it'll just be 0 by default. And then we're going to have items sold, which will be 0. So variance is going to be a random float, and it's just going to be an offset in terms of a multiplier, right? So it's actually going to start at 1, and then it's just going to kind of randomly fluctuate around from like 0.5 to 1.5 or something, right? Somewhere in that range. We'll probably randomize it, so it's just kind of completely random depending on the item, but... So resetting the stock market, that will grab the new loot, reset all the items, set it at the index to whatever that is, and then we should be good. So after all that's said and done, I'm going to print out the current stock market so I can make sure it's working. And yeah, that should work. So what I'm going to do is probably set up a function so that whenever the day has changed, it's going to reset the stock market, right? And also on load game, after we load in all this stuff, let's see. I'm gonna do this. So we are gonna have world data that gets synced here. Or do I really sync all of this world data? Because there's no way. What do I sync for multiplayer? Because this is too much. There's no way I sync all that data, right? Current research, synced world info. Okay. That's just the generation info, so yeah, it doesn't sync this stuff. That would be insane if it did. So I'm just gonna say, thank you, Ryan, I appreciate it. Current stock market is gonna be worlddata.get stock market, right? And it'll be empty if one hasn't been found. If current stock market dot is empty, then go ahead and say reset the stock market. So this is just going to be for old saves where the stock market doesn't exist because, well, if you don't have a stock market, you have to create one. So I'm actually going to do this, though. I'm going to say do that on, like, a different spot. Maybe in initialize game or something. Basically right after we load it. Like right here. This is where we need to do it. So we're going to save whatever the stock market is every time. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Yeah, that should work. And then back in a save game, we'll set the stock market. So save game. We're just going to say in here, world data stock market is the current stock market. Cool. So that should prevent save scumming, so people won't be able to just relive the save until they get the stock market they want. It will fix that issue, because now it's a consistent thing and you can't cheese it, because it's linked to your save. Alright. So, we've done all that. Stock market will be empty by default. We need like a signal or something for when the day has changed, right? Because up in here we have the time of the world, which starts at 100, and day length. I just need like a thing that checks if it's day or the last time was day and then swaps the day. So we will probably do that. I'm just gonna add another thing that's for current day is equal to 0. And then on load game, right, if we have time in here, let's actually just do initialize game. So after everything's been loaded in, we're about ready to go in game. So set in game, what does that do? It doesn't really do anything. So this is where we're going to check and say... So this is also for clients, actually, so I do have to say if... Oh, I guess up in... No, we just say if is... And this is where we also get the day value. So current day is going to be equal to time divided by day length. So if our time is 5,000, we divide it by 600, and we're on like day 8. Now we're always gonna seal it, because that means that at time 0 we're on day 1. So back up here, I'm going to say current day. All right. So in process. I'm actually also going to have a signal in global for day changed. Right. So in-game signal day changed. Okay. Let's see, current day. It's gonna be that on initialize game. And then in process, we're going to say as long as we're in game and stuff, right? Which is right here. So we're going to say var new day is equal to time divided by day length. And it's going to be seal. And then if new day is not equal to current day, then we're going to say current day is equal to new day and say global.day change.emit. All right. So the stock market will refresh every time that the day has changed. So all we're going to do then is just go up to ready for the server. So go to ready. We're going to say... Actually, where would we want to connect this? I guess in initialize game, or honestly on start host. Or I guess on load game? Maybe in here is probably where we want to do it. I don't know, it doesn't really matter where we do it, I guess. But we just have to connect the signal up, so global.daychange.connect to reset stock market. Right. But if it's already connected, we don't need to do it again. So I guess it really just is on start host. Right, it's all this stuff right here. All right. So reset stock market, it should print out whenever it gets reset. All right. Hopefully this will work then. I am also going to make the current stock market an exported variable. That way I can sync that with multiplayer. Dude, if my game wouldn't crash, okay. So the current stock market, make that update on change. All right. We just have to be careful not to make the stock market too enormous so that we don't end up with a situation where the packets get too big to sync. I don't think we'll ever get to that point because that would probably be like 100 items. So that's just way too many. I figure like 10 items or something like that would be like a pretty good amount. 10 or like, I don't know. We'll figure that out. Maybe like a random number from 10 to 20 or something. We'll just figure it out. I don't know. Because it's going to be like not every single item is going to be in demand, right? I mean, maybe we even just don't even have a loot table, but we just grab all the numbers from the items table. Or all the items from the items table. Now, the only issue is there are some items in there I don't really want people to buy or sell, like the null item and stuff, because that is an item, but it doesn't make sense for it to show up on the stock market. So, all right, so I'm gonna watch the output. It should print in here. Oh, it's an array, so we don't have to duplicate it, don't we? Arrays are not static, are they? Like, I think if you copy an array, it'll be a different array, I believe. Yeah. Oh, no, duplicate is a function. So why doesn't it work? Did I? Oh, I just spelled it wrong. I'm just dumb. Yeah, it depends on how you copy it. That's true, because you can do just like an equal sign, or you can do .copy, right? Because .copy will duplicate it. But I think if you just say equals, I think it's a new array, right? Unless I'm wrong. Unless copy is a new array. That's probably what it is. It's one of those two. I think. I don't know. I've never actually thought about that or done it before, so... Okay, then this will be changed. Items sold is going to change or like the number will change depending on the like multiplier we set, right? So if we set it to something really tiny like 1.01, then it's like 1,000 or 10,000 times 1.01. So it'll only be a difference of like 100 or whatever. We'll figure out the math on how to actually scale this stuff with the stock market, but... Okay, this has created a stock market. Cool. So now we should be able to go to the Space Hub, and it should have the list of all our items in the stock market. Yep. No, it's because I didn't set it in here to actually do it yet. So in the trading terminal, now in populate, instead of just doing the data, we're not going to do any of that. We're going to say for I in main dot current stock market. So what's up, Oshik? How's it going? And so just say var main is get node. At on ready. Okay. Now just say populate like that. So for I in main current stock market. So hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna say main.current stock market.get I. So that's gonna be var entry or whatever. So now we say obj.item ID is going to be entry.id. Or, well, let's see, this is going to be... I just need the item, so it's just going to be I. Because that's the ID. Cost isn't really something that's going to be statically defined, so that's going to be... We will have to work that out, but yeah. Let's check and make sure this looks good, though. I've been wondering, how do you get the fishing rod? Yeah, the fishing rod is just going to be gathered through... I mean, like, you're just going to have it at the beginning of the game. I don't think I'm going to have a way to actually craft it or have to buy it or something. Maybe you buy it from the fish shopkeeper. That wouldn't be the worst idea. But I do want fishing to kind of be like kind of like how in Stardew, where it's very branching, you know? Like, fishing is not this thing that's intertwined with automation and dungeoning. It's kind of like it's a whole separate branch, you know? And I like to kind of keep it that way for a lot of things. Where it's sort of like this, like, this is the core whatever, and then, like, over here we have automation, fishing, dungeoning, you know, farming or whatever. But the thing is that I want to link these together. Like, it'll kind of be this, like, web, right? Of, like, this benefits this, and that, like, helps with this stuff in this area. So this is kind of the structure that I want for gameplay, right? Where we end up with this, like, web. You can think of it as the bat wing, right? Or something, or the fishnet of gameplay design. Because I want all of these things to be separate so that you can just kind of choose, like, I'm just going to do this stuff and play through that path. But if you do all of them at the same time, they all become way easier because they're, like, symbiotic with each other, if that makes any sense. Can't fish. Yeah. I don't know if I'll add a way to automate fishing. I still am kind of not sure about that yet, but we'll see. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for it to change the day. Actually, we can manually make it change the day. Because we can say... Here, I need help. /time 1? Well, that wouldn't have changed the day. Okay, so remember the pattern. Stone, apple, coal, copper, iron, wood. Stone, apple, coal, copper. Apple, coal, copper, iron, wood. So let's try setting it to... What's the different... I need to look at my own... Oh, wait, yeah, I can do /day and it'll tell me, right? Or /time. Time. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's more to it than that. Let's go into the time command. Yeah, so otherwise time is invalid. Okay, so that's just setting the time to... So let's say time 600. Okay, so the day has changed. So it was stone, apple, coal, copper, iron, wood. Now it's iron, stone, copper, coal, wood, apple. Whoa. So the stock market, as you can see, has changed because the day has changed. So yeah. Epic. That time equals time. Man. Yes, you can. That's the whole, like, idea of this system, right? Because I want to make it so you can crash the economy. So the idea is that if you sell too much of one item, the price of that item drastically decreases, right? So if you sell like 10 million apples, then one apple is going to be worth like nothing, right? So it kind of prevents people from becoming gazillionaires off of one basic resource, because it's just not how real life works. Of course, it's easier in real life. You don't have that big of a problem because there's billions of people and the market for stuff is enormous. So it's hard to oversaturate the market. But this is a smaller scale thing, you know, so there has to be a limit. Yeah, oil. I will probably put oil on here. Diamonds, the diamond market, yeah. And maybe some things will have a really quick drop off, like things that are in very high demand. So maybe like really expensive items you don't really want to sell too many of. Like if you sell 10,000 rotors or something hard to craft, it crashes the economy way faster than it does for something that is cheap, right? Because it just kind of makes sense. Rotors, yeah. Rotors, you know, the little motors for different bits and bobs like the oil rig. But yeah. I think that's gonna work though. I think this will be a really fun system because I want people to be able to sell stuff and make money through automation, but at the same time there has to be kind of a a limit. There has to be a little bit of a balancing act. Because I still want dungeoning to feel useful. I don't want people to, like, just make all their money through automation and feel like dungeoning is completely useless, right? Because that's kind of stupid. So yeah. We're getting there. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, what else do we need? So we have the actual stock market values, which is good. And we're gonna need to sync it up, so let's go into... in here where we buy the items, right? We have to tell the stock market how many of those items we've actually purchased, right? And also we need to say on here, I'm gonna connect a signal. So global dot day changed. I'm going to connect to populate, right? In that way, day change.connect populate. So whenever the days change, it'll repopulate the list inside here. So to do that, what I'm going to say is in populate for I in items list, i.queue_free, or just i.free, honestly. So that'll erase everything in the list. Oops, items grid.getChildren. And yeah, this should work. So hey, Dumbnox, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So whenever we sell an item here, this is actually ran on the server already, which is awesome because it means that it's very easy to set this new info in the stock market. Because we say player remove amount, right? That amount of items. So all we have to say is main.current stock market. We do have main, right? Yeah. Get it at the index of the item ID. And just say dot items sold plus equals amount. Right? And whenever I do that, I'm also just going to go ahead and print out main.current stock market, just so I can watch this and make sure it's working. So let's go ahead and sell some items really quick. Let's sell 16 stone. So it should go from in here to 0 to 16. Yes, so stone now has 16 items sold. So that's how we're going to keep track of how the economy is crashing. So if we've sold like a certain amount, depending on the multiplier, that will decrease the price. Now, one thing I do want to make sure on. So the problem is that like we have to kind of predict where the stock market will be. So let's say that we have an item. Let's say that the current rate is 1. The problem is that we can sell 1,000 wood in one batch, right? So like we could sell all this wood, 1,000 of it. And technically the stock market won't change until after the wood has been sold, which is a problem. So we need to kind of take into account the actual money that you get back with, like, take the amount that you're about to sell and predict what the change on the stock market will be before it gets sold, if that makes any sense, right? So if you sell 10,000, we're going to like get the value of that, not at the current rate, but at what the rate would be if you just sold your 10,000th item. Does that make sense? I don't know how I'm going to really calculate that yet. I'm sure there's a way to. But this is kind of like a math problem, right? If the stock market exchange drop-off is 50% per item, then what would it be at 10,000 items, right? You can just run it for selling 1,000 times. That is a possibility. I just wonder if that would get really slow if I'm doing that many calculations every single time I change the button. But that could probably work where I'd literally just simulate it as if I sold 1,000 items, right? So that could probably work. And yeah, it just depends. I don't know how slow it's going to be. As long as I keep the checking of that really pretty simple, just like the one multiplication thing, then it should be fine. It would be more of a problem if you were selling like 100,000 or 1,000,000 items, but I don't think I think I will set a cap of like 1,000 or something on this at least. So yeah, it should be okay. Yeah. Ooh. It's also tricky though, because if I sell... Here's another problem. The way that it works, since it's not just decimals, let's say the current exchange rate is 64 wood for 1 coin, right? The issue is that if I sell a 10,000 wood, that's not a multiple of 64, right? It's a weird number, which means that it's like you won't actually get back the correct number of coins, right? Which is a problem. So it's kind of weird. I would have to do like a weird system where, depending on the current value of how many items you're selling, the amount that it's snapping to changes so that it works with the projected, you know, whatever. It's kind of weird. Yeah. I don't know. This is going to be tricky. I'm going to have to figure this one out. Just listening with one ear, working on something at the same time. I have a question. The price of an item will decrease the more you sell? Yeah, so items will decrease in price if you flood the market, right? So that you can't just get 1,000 million of one item and make all your money in an hour and be done with the economy forever. So yeah, and the price will basically be reset every time a day has passed, and that's kind of like the stock market rebalancing itself. So at the end of every day, this will completely change and have a new list of prices all set back to the defaults. Yeah. So it should work. It's kind of also good because then it means this little day number is actually a meaningful thing. Because the stock market changes. I think linking things to the day cycle just kind of makes sense. Because you don't have to keep track of like 1,000 different variables of like, well, the stock market time is actually different than the daytime. It's just, it's all the same thing, right? So I think that's good. But yeah. There's definitely going to be a pretty involved system. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to have to take into account. I know that there's going to be a way where I can scale. Do you lose your stock when the day changes? Well, it's not necessarily a stock market. I'm just saying that because it kind of makes more intuitive sense with like the percentages on things, but it's actually really more of just a free market or whatever, right? Which is basically the same thing as a stock market, but anyways, it's like basically this is just for selling items. Now the reason I haven't done buying items in here is because it kind of makes all of these NPC shops really wacky, right? Because if you can buy stone from this guy for 1 coin, but the stock market is at 2 coins sold, then it means that you can get infinite money, which is not good. And technically, if you bought, maybe the price would also drop, or the price of an item would increase if you bought it, but then the issue is you could sell it back and get the money back, so it just, yeah, it just doesn't work, you know? It's kind of it gets tricky. So I do have to be careful about that dynamic causing issues. So I'm probably just going to make it so you can only sell items. That way it's like... And now I do have to be careful. There are cases in here where... like you can buy stone from that guy and then sell it here. So this has to never exceed the cost of what it costs to buy these things from this guy, right? So that is something that I have to be careful about. It's fine if it's like a 1-to-1 ratio where this is bought for 2 and then the maximum of this is 2, because it's just, well then whatever, you're not making any money, right? But yeah, there's like weird cyclical things that you run into with economy stuff like this, right? And those are the exploits I want to avoid, because I don't want people to get infinite money by just walking back and forth from one guy to the trading terminal, right? So it can be kind of dangerous. I think you have something for the moment. You can just have to play test and feedback. Yeah. I mean, this is still a little broken. I have to fix because the cost doesn't quite scale yet. But after I add that, I'm probably going to put up an experimental version up on Steam so that people can try things out and see how it feels, right? Because playtesting is pretty important, so... But yeah. Alright, well, this is going to be good with this. I've been really wanting to add this, right? What was the keybind? Control L? Yeah. Wait, this is not a Control L moment. What did I do? Here, let me just do this. Okay. Yeah. Once I get this all working, I think it's going to really help tile everything together, right? Because now automation and fishing and all that stuff is going to be kind of combined into one thing. Like, there's like this sort of the... I don't know. The connection point between all these mechanics, right? Because that means, like, if you don't want to automate, you could just sell a bunch of fish and make a bunch of money. And then go talk to this guy and just buy resources that you want, right? So it's a way of just kind of like... yeah. I think it'll be good. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for today's stream. I gotta head out, but yeah. A little bit of good progress. Had to fix some stupid bugs today, which always kind of stalls things, but, you know, we got it out of the way. So yeah, it's fine. Let's go pick somebody to raid. There's not a whole bunch of people on right now. Let me check the indie game developers team, see if anyone... No, that's pretty much it. Who's this person that I haven't seen before? We also do have Dobbs. We'll raid Dobbs, why not? Why is store in the game? Like with the shopkeepers or with the trading terminal? Okay, I'm gonna get this ready to go. Alright. But yeah, it's really just to connect everything together so you can, like, you're not stuck with just dungeoning for money. You can, go fishing to make some money and stuff like that, right? So it's just kind of, helps things connect to each other. But yeah. Anyways, that is going to be it for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I really appreciate it. But yeah, buy Starground Steam now if you want. Join the Discord if you want. And we're going to raid Dobbs here in just a second. We automate everything 100%. Well, that's the thing, is not everything will be automated, right? Like, so fish maybe won't be automated. It just, we'll see. But that's kind of why the economy exists, right? There's certain things you can't make yourself. Can you link your Steam? Yeah, it should be in the description, or you can run the Discord command. I can do that really quick. Discord. There you go. Or not, no, not Discord. I meant Steam is what I meant. Yeah. Wrong one. But there you go. Should show up in a second if my overlay works. Oh, it's not a... Ah, shoot.
Welcome in, Chip. We're taking a video game break.